Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching in the world. Sean Driver, the Red Horde, and it's game day. It's Derby day. It's Shrewsbury Town, the tractor boys, whatever you want to call them, and Wrexham from the racecourse. And we're still trying to figure out if iFollow is going to work for everybody who's not in the United States. So I've posted a link into the channel where I think it's available. We're going to find out where it's at and how things are going. As to the lineup and the rosters, we'll get to that one in a moment and let people fill in here. It's nice to see everybody. And Jack, that's awesome. Just so that everybody that's aware, Jack purchased a bucket hat, a Red Horde bucket hat off of the shop. I've got the hat, and this is the Yunpeng one. There's one that didn't work and one that worked. So I was nervous about Jack ordering the embroidery, but it's worked there. For him. So we'll have to get those details out and make sure everybody has them, finish off the score and set the prices. And I think other than one broken mug that I'm working on, I think everybody is pretty happy with what they got. So in any event, I'm recovering from Pink last night in concert. It's a good show, but it kept me up late. And so it made for the morning a little bit more painful. Thank God, no 4 a.m. games. Only 3 games going today. We're one of them. An opportunity for, knock on wood, top of the table. We don't want to jinx it. And we're going to add Matt in from the race course who's there before he gets started. So, Brendan, I assume you're on screen with me?
Yes, there he is. There's Matt.
Good morning. I don't know what time it is for you. Good morning for you, isn't it?
How's things looking? You're in there early, it looks like. It's the first time I've seen the race course ground with a whole bunch of bodies without bodies.
Yeah, I will share the. Give me a second. I will share the. Oh, the players are just coming out to warm up.
Oh, that was a good time.
I can't do things to do, but you can just say. So if you're completely audio too.
I'm struggling. I think it's my headset, to be fair. I'm struggling to pick up everything.
So, Wrexham have just come out to warm up. The Shrewsbury end, you can just about see there, is probably about half full. They're still filtering in. There's obscenities being shouted already. And you can't quite see it, but the young lads who keep us going. The young lads are at it now, so the gestures are going and the obscenities are starting to be thrown, should I say.
So we've already started early. There was rumors yesterday of there being a little bit of potential meetup to go through. I imagine the cops are in full force. Have there been any issues so far?
Yeah, so I drove through town on the way here. I'll just keep. Are you all right with me just showing you around the race course and stuff? Or you tell me what you want, right?
This is great. It's great for us to be able to see you, see them, and
yeah, it's quiet at the moment. I will answer your question now. People will filter in the next 20 minutes or so, yeah? But yeah, drove through the centre of town because Shrewsbury have been given a designated pub for them to go to in town. There must have been 24 police outside, police everywhere, facial recognition cameras. I'm told that there's over 1,000 of them here without tickets, just looking for trouble. And there is a train station halfway between Wrexham and Shrewsbury. And this morning, very early on, they said the police were there, riot bands, massive trouble. So, it's all kicked off already.
It's all garbage. So all of the club, the internet didn't lead to necessarily quietness during the pregame and the I thought maybe step away and into the ether and a whole bunch of nothingness. It certainly was fun.
I don't know if I've lost it now. My audio will come clearly.
No, and that's all good. I'm just happy to have the screen there while you're doing that and figuring out as things get loud. I'm just going to go through the lineup really quick as we move in. Parky is predictable. I guess that's the one thing. The only change to the lineup is because of injury. Cannon is out, and Rathbone slides in, and as a consequence of Rathbone coming off the bench, you're going to end up with Jones filling in the midfield. So exactly the same, and then they are singing and full. As far as the Shrewsbury, they've got 3 players that are out. They've got players away in Brandon Poole and Pierre, who started for them in their game that they won against Clayton Orient. But as far as being out, O'Reilly, who was one of their goal scorers last week, Perry and Poole, because he's 21 international, and then coming in Ojo, which a last-minute kind of loan signing from Kurt Bale, so not really somebody who you immediately think is going to Kurt Bale is they've sort of done is built a team with Bristol Rovers and Port Vale players and just tried to panic almost. It looked like just grab whoever you can and put them in that'll put on the jersey. Wrexham, who missed one start, is back in Winchester. Their captain. The coach has been talking with him, said that he'd make a decision day of. He's starting, so things look good, and we'll see how he looks once we go through there. And Kim says, "Is it true that Shrewsbury fans have parked their tractors outside the turf, Matt?"
Occasionally, yeah. It's not really true, but I've seen lots of photoshopped images of the tractors outside the turf. So most of them will come on the train today, to be fair, so they can have a drink as well.
Yeah, awesome stuff. As far as you've done enough previews and done your sort of stuff, Matt, what do you have for a prediction of what you expect to see and what you're hoping to see?
So my heart says Wrexham will win this 3-4. But my head has seen much more football than more experience. So I'll take any win, to be fair. I predicted a win by a goal. So I think the only way they win this game is by making it messy and scrappy. And if they let us play football, they're in trouble. So yeah, I think Wrexham will win it. And in theory, it's the same as was last week.
Yeah, and we talked about that. I was on your Spaces yesterday. W&G throwing in a 2-0. Nice to see a W&G. For me, I think it's going to be a messy, scrappy game. But I also know that other than that game against Clayton Orient, Shrewsbury has been struggling before. And so the question to me is one enough? And it might be. Although that's all you're going to get. But I'm looking at a 1-0 or 2-0 game. I just don't think Shrewsbury's going to has got it upstairs. Audio is bad because of the Wrexham background. Yeah, so we're trying a new thing, and it's Stephen Reed going with a Shrewsbury win. You always like the reverse win. I think we'll probably, Matt, just turn the volume down a little bit on our end just to control that. And then, Brendan, are you giving your thoughts?
Yes, I turned down his audio a little bit. Hopefully that's a little better.
Audio sucks. Okay. Let's just, while we're at it, Brendan, why don't we pull down the audio on his and just see if we can get make sure that we're clear for everybody else. Yeah, that sounds good. We'll come back to you, Matt, in a little bit if you don't mind. I'll be off the screen and keep it in the background. I had a weird pop-up there.
Yeah. 1 second, I just gotta have a lot going on.
Turn him down on Ninja. I can't because it doesn't move me as director, so it's not him on full volume in my headset. And as they continue, only 3 games obviously this time to follow. So yes, W&G, if you're following League 2 scores, it's up to you, my friend. I'm not going to mandate what you do, but I appreciate getting the score updates from you. So if you want to end up throwing those out there, I would definitely be for them. And we've got Matt sitting in the background now, and I can hear the universe. So the only 3 matches that are going to be going on, we've got us, and then obviously we've Shrewsbury. We're going to end up picking up the scores from the Barnsley Bristol Rovers game, and then obviously the Charlton Rotherham game, which that Rotherham's had a hell of a run, similar to us as far as their first 6. They haven't handled it nearly as well as we have, and now I'm sort of torn. What do we want out of that Charlton Rotherham game as you look at it? Do you want, let's just wipe Rotherham out of the equation and have them go through, a whole bunch of losses such that they're completely out of it? Or do you want the team that's lowest on the table to beat the team that's competing with us? And that would be Charlton. Also in the comments, if your audio, let me know if the audio is fine and there's no issue with our setup. You guys just were talking about the Wrexham background noise being a little bit too much. Let me know how that is. It's one of those things when you've got one of those microphones out there, it's a little bit broad, but I'm super and massively appreciative to Matt that gives us a little bit of the taste of what's going on in the stadium. So let me know how that goes. Link is there for people who have to do it. And Brendan, are you up on the screen?
I still have Matt. Yes, I'm on the screen. Me, you, and Matt.
Perfect. So he's showing the videos around, and I've seen you there. So you've seen the lineups, you've heard the preview, you've heard Matt's discussion of his score. What are you looking at for this one?
Typically in rivalry games, derbies, I would get worried. You think it's just going to be tight because it's going to be very emotional. Players running around, hectic chaos at the beginning of the game. But when you look at the styles, both teams are about getting the ball and moving forward, not passing around the outside. They don't focus on that. Presuming both teams stick to how they typically play, I'd expect a lot of shots, a lot of back and forth, a lot of chaos, and potentially a lot of goals. We're doing clean sheets. We've been having a really good defense, but if they're going to be throwing twice the shots that we usually see because most of the other teams just dance around the outside and maybe one or two sneak in. So I don't know, 4-2, 4-1, 4-2.
4-2. Yeah, I can see it going either way, just kind of like you said. It's one of those things nobody has any idea. So SOSS, the audio is good. So Matt, if you're in the background, I'm not going to be able to hear you because it's sort of the camera doing its thing. But we've got you on our feed just kind of showing off the players. The audio is just a little bit choppy. So we'll stay with us for as long as you wish. And I'm loving the views while we're sitting here chatting about them. So this is kind of awesome. If you do want to go, and obviously you've got I guess not beverages stuff. What do I went all North American there. You've got things to do. Feel free to go ahead and do those as well. There, he's just bumped off the feed right there. So we may get him back. We'll keep that posted, and massively appreciative to Matt at the Racecourse Ramble who's got those up, and we'll figure those out as we go through the season. I still haven't had, just so everybody's aware, I have the link up. I've posted the link there available to everybody. It's pinned for if you're looking for the iFollow stuff. It still says available soon, and that Mike's going 3-1. I do have a VPN that I can sneak into Paramount, but we're going to wait and see how this goes on. Wrexham pregame show is on. Marie, is that on iFollow, or you've got the CBS Golazo stuff, which I've got the VPN to go and try and get into if need be. I'm still waiting. Mine says available soon. It has my name. I'll load it up and copy it and bring it into there. So we're still scrambling, man. I really wish that they would figure out what the hell they're doing. It's a massive source of frustration to have to go through this process every time, and I'm just checking to make sure it's not a problem with Chrome that I had last time not being able to get in as well. And you're on YouTube so there you go. You've got the YouTube stream up. You can have the pregame with them officially. You can have it with us, and we'll go through and talk about things. As far as their lineup goes, I don't know, Brendan, if you've had a chance to look at it. I mean, to me, Castledine's somebody I'm interested to see. Winchester, obviously the captain. Feeney's been looking quite good, but there's really nobody who I looked at that went, man, that's somebody that I need to be worried about. I would suggest that their midfield is stronger than their forwards and their back line, but I don't think that their midfield is class of League One or even close to it. Have you looked at it? Do you have a sense?
All I keep hearing is that they're two loanies from Everton and was it West Brom, or get what the loanee is, that if something's going to happen, it's likely to be those two. Mm-hmm. And other than that, they think they're okay defensively, and yeah, they're similar style to us. That's what they think. So
yeah, it's a weird one because you think rivalry, and I think the reason why they were so quiet, they being Shrewsbury fans, you look at the Peterborough match, and man, they were the Twitter was a buzz with nonsense prior to that one. The Bolton match, things were a buzz. Crickets. There was one guy who tweeted out, and all he really said was he considered that Wrexham had hired a bunch of mercenaries who had dropped down and taken the cash and weren't really interested in being true footballers who just stick with a team, which I thought was foolish and unfair, and maybe
they swapped up half their team. They have what, 5 guys from last year's starting 11 on the out there. Pretty well, and it's
there's no logic to it to me at all. I mean, I guess what he's saying is the players that came to them, whether loan or otherwise, were people who have already played in League One or close, and so therefore they're expected. None of them fell down 2 levels to go and try and be mercenaries and get paid to come on up.
Okay,
but I mean, that was, to me, that was an election that they made. They were paid commensurate to their capacity. They had an opportunity to go down there and an expectation that they were going to pull Wrexham up back into League One and they did. And so I think you tip the cap to them and say, well done for doing exactly what you said. So British viewers, you can catch this game on Sky Sports Plus. Can you really? Oh yeah, because it's international window, so the 3 p.m. blackout doesn't apply. So well done to W&G for remembering that one, because I forgot all about that. So yes, you can get this one live because the international window is open. Yeah, and Anna, thank you for that. And I don't know if you I haven't checked whether the pop-ups are working from yeah, they're up below me. Anna pointing out that the iFollow glitch, if you go to the actual iFollow, you can't find it. It's either available on the main page down at the bottom, or if you click on matches, you can get to it. The issue is once I click on it, I still read as available soon, and I don't have it loaded up now, and I'm still clicking around in the background as we wait. And it's doing that both on Edge and on Google Chrome for me. So I'm hoping that it loads up. If not, you're going to hear Brendan doing the play-by-play as I scramble with a VPN to try and get Paramount Plus in the background. Maybe I could do that right now while I'm waiting. So Brendan, top of the table, do you believe in the jinxes? I've never asked you that. People talking about whether it be if you're in a clean sheet, talking about the clean sheet or the shutout, whether it be talking about the fact that we can go top of the table with a win today. Do you believe in the jinxes? And what's your thought on maybe the other games too that are going out there and what it means to be ahead of the game as far as matches?
Yeah, I like the idea of being ahead of the game, putting pressure on people. So if we get up, if we win this game, get 3 points, and get top of the league, that's a nice place to be. That makes you feel like, even next week, if we were to lose to Birmingham, we would still be right there in the top 3 at worst. So I like the idea of that. I mean, that's pretty cool. And I think it's good. I think it puts pressure on everybody else. The games after Birmingham all seem pretty winnable. Looks like I might have lost Sean there for a second. Let's see what happened to him. Let's see. Yeah, I lost Sean. Hopefully he comes back. Oops. Don't want to be showing that. Well, let's see, Sean, are you coming back here? There we go. Andy's back.
Don't go to your VPN, apparently, while still on the setup that we have, because I got bumped off. So if I don't get a link, I'll have to find my laptop and set that up. And I might do that in the background while I'm at it. What a mess. iFollow. Figure out your crap. I mean, I can't. This has to be massively frustrating. I'm sorry, Brendan. I don't know what words of wisdom you just threw out there because I went completely silent. But if you're the club here and you're Wrexham, and what you're desperately trying to do at this stage is capture those who are interested in the club and get them involved in watching the team day to day, so that they buy the kit, they pay the streaming revenues, they do all those things. And you've got a partner in the EFL who can't figure out their head from their and get the damn thing set up. I mean, it's just been nothing but problem after problem after problem. We're into the 5th game of the season here, and it's easy for, I guess, for those in the US, you've got immediate access, but for every single other country that's out there, we've been having a fight with audio problems and or tech problems or whatever. Anyway, that's my rant for the day as I'm scrambling in the background. So Brendan, I'm going to leave this with you for just 2 minutes while you do your thing. I'm going to fire up my laptop just because I'm starting to get nervous that this isn't going to work because we're 20 minutes away from game time and still nothing has popped up that gives me an inclination that I'm going to get a video feed from iFollow. So with your thoughts.
Yeah, like I was saying before, I'm thinking there's some games that are winnable. I mean, I think we need to continue this. Whether or not we beat Birmingham, we have to win this game. We have to score against the teams that are expected to be at the bottom of the table. And your Leyton Orients and Crawley and the other teams that are lined up after that, there's a good, I'd say out of these next 5 games, there's 4 quite winnable games, maybe 5 out of 6. And if we can largely score 3 points in those games, we're going to be in great position. I think we talked about it before. When I'm trying to figure out how they're doing, I kind of break this season down into how many points they kind of need in the first 12 games and how many they need in the next 12 and so on. And we've talked about it before. You need roughly half of your games need to be wins, and then a quarter need to be draws to get in and around the playoffs. In League One, with only 2 positions that are automatics, then you need more than that. So you're going to need at least 1 game more than halfway. So you want 7 in your first 12. We have 3 now. This could be 4, and then there's 4 more winnable in a row. We could get to that 7 or 8 and be on track for second in the league, which would be great. Hello, Giselle. Swirly, nice to see you.
And for those, I saw the message there from John that said went to the main page and clicked down to the bottom and Match Center and logged into the main website. I've gotten that far, and I can click on it and I can get to the Match Center that shows up that has Shrewsbury Town with the first team that's now telling me it's 18 minutes to the game time. But I've got that ugly white button that says available soon or available now. Or sorry, available soon, both the audio and the audio and the video, but there's nothing to click to end up getting into the screen, and I can hit the refresh button and it doesn't seem like it's working. And so I'm going to try VPNing in the background and see how that works. Desperation. It shouldn't be like this. It's frustrating. And I'd like to be able to talk about other things involving the game and the strategy. I think, to your thoughts, Brendan, just looking at things, I'm with you that this is one of those games that we should win, that I expect to win, that I desperately want to win. It's a derby match. You don't want to give rivals of any stretch a leg up. But I look back at this game and remember what happened to Tranmere at home to us last year. Similar game, a team that you expect to win and beat and you don't. And we didn't at home last season against them, and it's not just because you have to hear them chirp for the rest of the season. It's that it's a loss of 3 points that you should have, and so we'll see how that goes. I'm desperately going to try to connect here as my Discord's going nuts of people all talking about how to connect. It's amazing how the community is out there to help people, but it is a frustrating process. That is for sure. Trying to get all of this figured out. Man, if anybody does get luck on iFollow, feel free to let us know. And if I'm looking at my computer and somebody puts in the messages the secret way to get it going, and by all means let me know, as I'm going to CPS Sports, and hopefully it will connect and take my credit card from a Canadian. I don't know anything other, Brendan. If you can, feel free to jump in for me as far as.
Yeah, the only thing I just brought up the lineup for Wrexham and the bench. I see Jones coming in as the only real change, with Cannon out, Rathbone in the midfield, and Jones replaces him on the bench. Otherwise, we have the same bench and lineup as last week. Obviously, we would expect that come Tuesday for Salford, this will change quite a bit, and everybody who hasn't had a chance to get in will, which will probably be the whole bench and a few leftover starting 11. Maybe they'll find a way to get some others in. Maybe we'll see Mendy. Maybe we'll see Bolton or somebody else come on. Should be interesting. I'm watching right now the warm-ups for Wrexham on Paramount Plus. They've got the pink swirl outfits. Yeah, most of the guys, combination of short sleeves and long sleeves. I noticed a lot of people got their long sleeve jerseys from the pro shop. I saw people crazy enough to go and get one of each. They already got one of each for their short sleeves.
I mean, I've asked for my fair share for Christmas, but I'm going to wait until Christmas gets there. Mike Smith, you have credit cards in Canada. I thought it was a barter system based on maple syrup. Yes, and the size of your igloo, actually. You get extra points and extra credit for the size of your igloo, and that impacts how many penguins you can buy. So I've got the Golazo thing already up. So it a hell of a lot easier for me to improperly, I mean, at this point, I'm going to be unashamed and unabashed about how I'm picking up services. I have to end up going gray market because despite having paid, I can't get what I'm paying for. And as I say that, I get the spinning wheel on my computer. It was working the whole time, and then it just went out. So who knows? We'll see how this watch party goes. It could be listening to Brendan for the duration of the time.
Well, we don't want that.
So we'll see. Is Mullen injured? Leasu, he was injured. He had spine surgery. He's been back now. This is his third game. He had a cup of coffee of about 8 minutes or something, I think, in the first one, if I recall correctly, and then had about 35 in the last one. And so we're waiting to see. I think that he's going to get a start in the Salford game. Less competitive. As far as the matchup goes, it's going to be a B squad, a little bit easier. Get his minutes in, get his feet under him, and see how he holds up. Whether that's for the first half or just over 60 minutes, we'll see how that goes. As I've got my Golazo network back, so I'm going to end up sticking an earbud under my headset and seeing if I can pick up the audio here for what they're talking about on Golazo.
So you are good with I follow them?
I'm not good with iFollow. I'm improperly got a VPN picking up CBS Sports with no audio at the moment. So I'm figuring all this out as we go through to try and.
Yeah, because I was curious how you were figuring that out. I'm still, when I log in, it keeps telling me that I'm not. It says I'm logged in, but then it asks me to buy everything, which is ridiculous. So.
No, and I got an error. Please try again. But I'm getting it intermittently, and so I don't know what that's all about from them. So we'll see. And nothing on iFollow. This, and I apologize to everybody that's here. If you're looking for something insightful and witty, you're just basically watching me do the same thing that you are, which is scramble to try and pick things up. And so it will be what it will be. How much, like I was trying to think yesterday, I was coming back. You've had the kid incident where you had double the taxes and double the duty, or triple the taxes, triple the duty, depending on if you bought multiple jerseys, and that whole issue that Wrexham had with their kit strategy. Then you've got the constant problems with iFollow that have been happening worldwide and essentially affecting everybody outside of the United States on a pound for pound nature. what do we think that those expenses are costing the club? Is it 50,000 quid? Are we talking 100 to 150,000 quid? And that's just this year, because I think that there's some people who may end up being like, well, I can't even get a game in, and it's not worth me waking up at 7 o'clock in the morning or 10 o'clock in the morning to try and figure all of this out. Do you have thoughts on that, or any way of quantifying it?
I mean, I think they're definitely. I mean, people are going to get frustrated and turn away, right? And there's people that probably buy the games on a individual basis. When they're available to watch that individual game, they purchase that one. And if they're struggling, they may just throw their hands up and walk away. There's no reason that everything should be this difficult. I mean, you should have this stuff figured out, and it should be pretty much rock and roll every week. The fact that it isn't is amazing to me. I mean, the quality of their tech guys, or their infrastructure, or I don't know what it is, but it's horrendous. There's no.
Well, great for the advertisers of CBS, I guess, because they're going to get free views everywhere, because the hits will be up through the Golazo network. Because one of the things that's making me think of doing it all is you guys get so many extra games, right? Like all of those matches are there for replay. For my whatever it is, I think it's $8 US. You can get all of those matches. So anyways, I've got it set up on my laptop. So I'm going to throw that one in there and then try and focus as everybody else is doing the same thing. And if you're new and joining here to the channel, we're all waiting on iFollow to work and hoping that it does. And I'm getting circle of death moments, which is anticipated when you're on a VPN. So it could make things interesting as we go through the game. But we're all struggling to figure out exactly what's going on with iFollow. Isn't the double VAT thing because they don't have, well, the double VAT thing, they don't have to charge the VAT, but as some people do out of caution, because then they don't have to worry about geographically setting things up, right? But as international people don't have to pay the VAT. The double duty thing is separate. That was their fault. They decided to use it as a marketing ploy to structure out the jersey sales to have them come out, during the Rex Coast tour at different stops. Game is up on iFollow. Okay. And so I'm checking iFollow. I don't have it up on my end yet, but thanks for Kota for identifying that it's working for her there. Maybe it's because, no, I didn't put my VPN on. I thought maybe it has my VPN, so it's not working. Kota, if you have a link for it, feel free to send it, as I'm still clicking around trying to get it to work, and it is not. $5.99 for Paramount, but 3 of them haven't needed it. Yeah, so good. Thanks, John, for that. I'm still waiting, and with the buffering that's happening, I fully suspect I'm going to be like 10 minutes behind everybody by doing this, and so it may be one of those things where, Brendan, you have to lead the charge for the start while they scramble in the background. We figure it all out, and I'm going to punt this guy. I wasn't sure whether he was legit or not, but it doesn't appear that he is. It's been a scrambly morning. I'm not going to lie to you. Usually, maybe it's pink, maybe it's just because of the iFollow problems, but it's been a bit of a mess setting everything up as sexy as the little thing looks. And hello, little one. Just 1 second. Oh, it is iFollow just emailed me and gave me no assistance. Thank you. No, I'm not trying what Nikhil suggested, because that is turning, I think that's spam. He's just saying, he's just pushing a VPN to try and get you to go to channels and stuff, and I'm not all for that. So I'm going to end up hiding him from it. And I've got Golazo playing in the background. I've just got the 4. So Brendan, while you're following along, so you can tell where I'm at, is I just got back from commercial and have the 4 games up. Doncaster Gillingham being 1, Charlton Rotherham, and Barnsley versus the Bristol Rovers, all in the middle of warm up, as I'm watching a goalkeeper for Charlton swinging his legs through the air, and George Evans and they're in Doncaster because that stadium, the Keep Moat, looks familiar, having been in there. And I'm waiting and clicking around with 6 minutes left to see if iFollow. And how frustrating does it have to be for Mark? I mean, he's a volunteer. He's putting in all of his time. He wants to be able to go out and share the work that he does, and he shows up every freaking weekend and gets no love, no success, no connection. As we've got the little one going on. Brennan or John saying he's got a 1-1 draw. I don't think it's a BC West Coast issue. It's worldwide. They didn't have it popped up. It was working yesterday at about 6 p.m. my time, which would have been 9 p.m. East Coast. And right before I left to go to the Pink concert, I loaded up the game just to see if it was all there, and it said Shrewsbury. As I got onto the SkyTrain, the transit, it popped up and said on Twitter and said that the people are having a problem, and I went and it wasn't showing up, and I went and had a look, and lo and behold, it's gone. So the game is available if you have a VPN and you're paying for a VPN. Go to CBS Sports, and the game is covered for free. You don't have to pay for it. So at least as far as I'm aware, it's been working. I'm getting the preview right now of the Bristol Rovers and the Bristol match. And iFollow is sitting here telling me that it's 5 minutes until countdown, and I haven't checked Twitter to see exactly what if Mark has said anything. But let's go and see what Mark is saying. Which I feel sorry for the guy. Join me on iFollow from 2:50 for live coverage. And so they say that they're supposed to be on there and jump on late. But still nothing as we sit 4 minutes through. And they've tried to do a patch fit to make this one work. And I don't think that their tech people got it quite right. And that's not the club. This is iFollow being an epic failure. But the race course looks great from what I've been. Matt was in here earlier to be able to show us what's going on. So 2 things before we start. Number 1, that like button down below, I would love if you gave that a bump. Take the time right now, reach down there, let the algorithm know that we're here, let the algorithm know that that we've got an active chat and things are good. And if you haven't been here for the first time, hit the subscribe button so that you can join in the chat. Whether you mute me, you don't mute me, you take in the game, you don't take on the game. For a lot of the people in the UK, they're going to have this a hell of a lot easier than we are. So go ahead and fill all that out. No, Don, I set my VPN to the United States so that it believes that I'm in New York right now and able to watch the game. And it's been relatively clear for the last 5-10 minutes. So I'm hoping, I don't want to hit refresh because it's been straight through. So watch it on Paramount Plus, or you can watch it on CBS Sports. I'll just minimize this. I Googled CBS Sports. It popped right up. And then I clicked on EFL, or English Football League, and it brought up the matches, and away I went from there. So it was relatively straightforward to bring it in. Who scores first? Do you want a player? Do I do a poll, John? Let's bring that up. Who scores first? Oh, and I've gone to the Bristol Rovers match. That's not what I want. Okay, let's go to the Wrexham one and load that up, and now it's saying I've got to pay. So I don't have any other feed of just CBS. So they've gone to this thing. So iFollow's not working. Brendan, you're going to have to cover this while we figure this all out, and I'm going to have to try and set up an account now. What a bunch of garbage this is. Okay, I'm going to have to try it for free. So while I'm doing this, everybody else can follow along. Brendan, if you pick up the game, do you have it on your end? So why don't you take over and you can describe things? You might want to bump me into the background while we're at it, and I'm just going to click away here. Do I have to do Paramount Plus with Showtime, or I can just do Essential? I think I can just do Essential, right?
you off. Just give me a second here. All right. They're shaking hands, and I'm going to try to get the scoreboard and everything up. Recreating everything's a little tricky to do here. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it like this for now, and we're going to try to get Sean back in. It's too much to do at once. So they're on the CBS feed. That's the only one I can get working, guys. I don't know how everyone else is doing. Paramount Plus wants to show the Bristol game and all of the other games they say they're showing. It wouldn't allow me to select any of them. So I don't know what the trick is there. Maybe someone else can get that working. If so, they can explain it in the chat for others. And as far as going to the Wrexham site, then I've logged out and logged back in multiple times, and it keeps saying available soon for purchase, and 13 seconds or 10 seconds left for the game starts. So yeah, a lot of that's not looking good, but it is on CBS Sports for free in the US. You don't even need Paramount Plus. So that's very good. Parky's shaking hands with the other coach. We're a few seconds away from starting here. Looks like Marriott's going to be the one starting with the ball. I don't know. Sean usually researches the referees. Not sure what we can expect from this guy, and we're underway. Marriott back to Clearwood. So Sean's letting me know that he doesn't call too many fouls. We have him against Salford. Ball just got knocked around. It was a long ball by Cleworth. Got knocked out. Wrexham's ball, and Barnett's throwing it in. Just into down by the edge of the box. Ball's getting pinged around. Shrewsbury with it. They're trying to bring it out. Some aggressive tackling there, which is nice. Rathbone doing his Dobson impression and very active out there. I'm definitely going to be watching him more and see what we have there. Tough pass. Oh, gets away from Lee. Is a tricky pass from McLean. But Lee fights to get the ball back really hard and wins the ball out of bounds. So McLean's going to be tossing it in. I don't have the volume up, but I'm seeing a lot of clapping and movement in the stands. It looks like it's a really good crowd. Looks like a nice day there. Barnett with the ball. Back to Cleworth. He's going to kick it back to Okonkwo. He's going to boot it long here. No, boots it back up the middle. Bad clearance. Lee has to hustle back with Dobson to stop Shrewsbury from getting an advantage there. Shrewsbury with the ball. They have it at midfield. They're not wasting time kicking it around. They try to make an entry pass, which Wrexham intercepts, and we're away. Nice pass ahead here. Lead for Marriott. He's got three defenders. Decides to pull it back. McLean holding it up. Shrewsbury's able to intercept. They had numbers of people, defenders there. Ball gets sent back around. O'Connor, now Cleworth. Got swung all the way around to Barnett, back to Cleworth. He takes a shot down to the wide side where McLean is. Tough ball, can't handle it. Bounced out of bounds. No chance for McLean there. I'm sending you good vibes, Sean. Hopefully you'll be getting it soon. Does CBS Sports ever put stuff online? Sean's still working hard in the background here. O'Connor plays a long ball down to Marriott on the left side. Marriott keeps it in. Defender knocks it out. Just missed getting a corner out of that. So we're deep down on the left side. Ball's thrown in. Gets knocked back out. They bully Lee with the ball. McLean throwing it back in now. A lot of energy early. No shots, no real chances at all. I don't even know if the ball's been in either box yet. I don't believe it has. Back and forth it's going at midfield. It looks like Shrewsbury, for the most part, filled out most of their allocation. Maybe there's 20 seats not taken in that lower section for the away fans. Not sure how many of those they sell in that last section where the players sit. So you can see the Shrewsbury players and then the bench players, and there's a few open seats, but otherwise it looks like we probably sold out they probably sold out. Ball's all the way back to the keeper for Shrewsbury. He's picking it up, looking around. Only 5 minutes in. Neither team's really settled down yet. Boots it long. Connor heads it out of bounds. So Dave says he's watching it on Paramount Plus. Are you seeing it yet on Paramount Plus, Sean? Thank you very much for subscribing, guys. Even in this chaotic morning here, we're doing the best we can. Yeah, do you want me to slide you mine? Yeah. Yeah, I'm doing that now. Give me a second. They can't hear you, Sean, because I shut you off. I can put you on. Go 1 second. There you go. You're coming in.
Yeah, it's Jason. It's because you need a U.S. credit card, and I knew that somebody in the office. I was like, well, I'm not going to pay for it if I don't need to do it because I've got iFollow. So now I regret not having ordered a one of those. If you go to London Drugs or Shoppers or something, and you get one of those visas that have over the counter, you can use that and say it's from wherever you want to say it's from. And so somebody I know does that and uses it. But in any event, Barney is down apparently. I missed that obviously because I'm not there.
He's up and running around now, I believe.
Okay, perfect.
Yellow
so I'm
card
gonna go back. I'm gonna go back offline and see if I can get this to work. And we'll be back. I may need to get Brendan. Well, we'll find out. I'll put it in. We'll see what happens. I was going to say a location, but let's see what happens. Okay, I'll be back. Thanks, all. Cheers.
All right, Lee with the corner here. Good cross. Oh, almost had the header there. Ball's in play still. McLean. Oh, pings it off the top of the post. Oh, my. That crossbar. Shaking. Lee, this is one of the best sets of service that I've seen Lee do. And then McLean can't catch a break. Absolutely blasts it. And it's definitely in. The keeper doesn't even move. It's all just whether or not McLean gets it under the crossbar or not, and he hits it solid. Ball bounces all the way out of bounds on the far right. Shrewsbury with the throw in. Seems like we're able to exert some pressure now. Lee with a good chip ahead. Marriott rushing down, trying to prevent it from going out of bounds, and physical play by the defense there rides Marriott out of bounds. Trying to work the linesman there, saying his shirt was pulled. Didn't see much of anything there, really. Shrewsbury kind of stalling back there now because they're feeling the pressure. Keeper's just waiting. Finally clears it down deep and out of bounds over into the players section. O'Connor's looking to throw it in here. He throws it down deep to Palmer. Ian McLean heading it back and forth. Palmer with the ball. He's going to try to. Oh, wait a minute. Do we get a. Oh, they gave a goal kick, not a corner there. That was horrible. Definitely Palmer put it off of the defense's legs. Let's see here on the replay. Palmer was getting mauled. Oh, yeah. We just got ripped off there. That was a corner. It was one of those things where the Shrewsbury player kicked it out, put his hand up right away, and they just gave it to him. Yeah, Ollie's not happy. I think the referee might have known he got faked out there. Ollie isn't that emphatic with his appeals. Ball's being thrown in now by Shrewsbury inside Wrexham's area. The ref's not great. Oh, nice steal by us, chipped ahead, except Palmer can't get to it. So Shrewsbury collects the ball just outside their box on the left side. And they knock it all the way down. Little tiny Shrewsbury guy jumps on O'Connor's back. O'Connell. Now Max with the ball over to Barnett. Brendan Sean can't work it out. No. Sorry, Don. He's having to now pay and on Paramount Plus for it. And he can't pay unless he has a US Visa card. So I gave him my credit card information, and hopefully he's not buying a house with that. No, you can just. Is it just? It usually just looks the zip code, Sean. Good cross by Shrewsbury. Defended excellent. The cross was quite incredible, except we bodied the Shrewsbury guy that was coming in, and Barnett was in on defense there, made sure that they didn't get it. So it's nice to see him all the way back there covering the wide guy that had rushed into the in front of goal. Ball's at midfield, getting pinged around here. Craig thinking that it's not going to work by using a U.S. credit card. We'll see. This has all been an elaborate ruse by Sean just to get my credit card. Well, he'll be disappointed with how much roast. Yeah. Ball's knocked out. X was trying to clear it long. Defender ran down, jumped up, and it went off him out of bounds. Ball's thrown in. Palmer's got it to Rathbone, who haven't really seemed too active since the first minute or so. McLean with the ball. Over to Dobson. Now it's being swung all the way back around. Again, Dobson with the ball. Back. It looks like we're trying to play the possession game. I haven't looked at the stats yet. I guess I will see what we're looking at here for possession. Yeah, we got 70%. And McLean with the ball. Hard cross in this. Palmer. Goal! Wow, that was nice. So I've been noticing this about Palmer before, that instead of trying to go to the goal and then lead him, he's pausing and letting the defense kind of sag closer to the goal, and he stays, several yards out, and they try to slip it in behind the defense and let the defense overrun the pass. And that's what Palmer did again. So McLean put it it didn't lead right in front of the goal, but just a little bit back. And Palmer stopped as if they were, right on the same page, and then just easily tucks it in with the side of his foot. Didn't have to blast or anything, just kind of, he definitely boots it. It's not a redirect, but he doesn't have to unload or anything. He has the whole right side of the goal. Yeah, quite easy. No chance for the goalie, who was worried about McLean and holding the post on the far left. Nice passing. That was a really nice pass. Clearworth's down. I didn't see what came about and why he's down. They're talking about they're going to give him a card. They're scolding Lloyd. Let's see what it was. No, they just replaying. Oh, I took Max out. It looked like pretty high. Max looked like his legs were hurting him, but Max looked like he could have taken a knee or a hip to the face there on that challenge. Palmer with the ball. Gets knocked ahead. Rathbone pressuring. He might have stole the ball. Oh, almost gets it. Keeper comes out and just clears it away. Rathbone was about ready to get an easy goal. Nice pressure there. Hopefully I'm not blowing your speakers out, guys. Sorry. This is what you get when I'm the main voice and not Sean. Ball's on the far right, and Cleworth with it. We're at about 17-18 right now, at least on my stream for CBS Sports. Cleworth throws it in. Palmer to everyone's just heading it around now. Rathbone heads it twice, comes down, gathers it, puts it to Dobson, clears it out wide. Oh, geez, that was an awful pass by Dobson. They could have really got the ball all the way around and had the left half of the field open. Great cross by McLean. Could have been maybe a smidge higher. Good fight for the ball. Shrewsbury's trying to bring it out, and O'Connor shuts that down quickly and puts it out of the out. Thank you, Giselle. I can give you that. All right. I'm going to be heads down just for a second, guys, while I give Sean some more information here. Clearance by McLean. Ball's at midfield. Palmer with it. Chips it ahead. Oh, he had Marriott on a run. Would have been tough, but he misses him. The ball spins off the side of his foot. All right, I'm back. I got some more information off to Sean. Hopefully that'll get him going. Thanks, WG. MK Don's up 1-0 on Warsaw. If you care about League Two, and the League One score is Barnsley 1-0 on Bristol Rovers. So, a little bit of a collision there. Dobson, of course, involved. It looks like they gave him a penalty. I didn't see it, so I don't know how legit that was. Free kick for Shrewsbury. It's quite a ways out. I can't believe that they're going to go directly at goal. I would imagine this is them trying to play it all the way in. They don't have anyone out to play it. They did play it short. And they tried to chip over the top. Awful chip. No one really there. If so, Palmer had it covered. And that just went right out of bounds for a goal kick. Yeah, it was funny. It was suspicious that they didn't have a third player out there on towards the middle of the field waiting to play it short. And I was about ready to say, there's no way they're playing it short. There's just the two guys thinking about taking the free kick, and then they pass it to each other and then decide to chip it in. So I looked like a fool there. McLean getting ready to throw it in. That goal kick ended up going down left side and knocked out of bounds. Looks like Lee was pushed to the ground there. Maybe a little bit of a flop. He kind of went with it. Oh, that was a handball. Wrexham with the ball. Shrewsbury got away with a handball. It was unintentional. His guy's arm was slightly down, so I can understand you letting it go as long as the ref's consistent. Wasn't that much of an advantage. That's a flop. Yeah. Ref said, no. You can't just flop on the ball. Get the hell out of here. That's nice. That's good to see from the ref. Unless, of course, he called it on something else. No. He literally backed up trying to make contact with Palmer and then flopped to the left to land onto the ball. So, yeah, nice when the ref sees that. Very rarely do they call people out for those BS calls, but BS flops. So, obviously, you know how much that bothers me. O'Connor with the ball here, kicks it out wide to Barnett. He has a little bit of room. He's coming forward. Plenty of guys up front. He decides to pull it back, which is strange. I thought he'd cross it there. Cleveland now takes a shot. Marriott went on a run. Couldn't connect. The ball was a little long, and the keeper saw it and came all the way out the end of the box to get to that. Good cross here. Well, decent cross, but it goes out of bounds. A lot of pressure. They had a right wing for Shrewsbury double teamed there, and he hit his cross long and out of bounds. There was really no one there to receive it anyway, so it was zero threat. John's given the info saying that this is a U.S. ref, so he's anti-flopping, which is great. So Don, I don't know. I don't think you can hear Sean. I think I might have muted him. If you can email Sean your Xfinity info there. You said it's Sean Driver at the Red Horde. Oh, it's Driver at the Red Horde. Put Don's name in instead of his own. Okay, Shrewsbury in the box here. He tries to cross it. Nothing happening there. Rathbone knocks down the cross. They're going to get a corner out of it. Sorry, guys. I was looking away trying to straighten out something else. So Shrewsbury with the corner on the far side near their fans. We're about to hit 24-minute mark. Here comes the cross, a little low and short. Ball gets knocked around in the air, headed a couple times. Marriott heads it back, and then looks like McLean finally clears it. Unfortunately, there was all the Wrexham players were deep, couldn't get anything going. Marriott out challenging, trying to get physical. Gives the Wrexham defense time to set up, so Shrewsbury pulls it back near midfield. Palmer was way too deep, and so was Marriott. So Shrewsbury just waiting for Wrexham to kind of unpark the bus there. A lot of heading the ball back and forth. Oh, late whistle. It was a little. Shrewsbury got the whistle, and they're still bitching. I don't know how that is. Two guys go for the ball. They run into each other. And I guess a little bit of a high elbow. I didn't see that follow through. Not sure who it was. Gave a little bit extra there. This is a couple of meters outside the box. Would be a good chance for him to bend it in from here. Wow, the wall that they're letting Wrexham put up seems so far away from the ball. Don't like this at all. Dangerous area right here. I would imagine they're going to go direct. Although last time I tried to call it, I looked foolish. So let's see what they do here. Ah, wow, awful attempt there. It was blasted into the wall. I don't see a Wrexham player holding his jewels, so good for them. Looks like someone took it in the upper thigh. Ball gets pinged around. Wrexham gets away with it. Goes up field. He takes a little bit of a dive there. Don't really know why he had control of the ball. Didn't like the back pressure, so he just flopped on the ball. Referee said, okay, time for Wrexham to get a free kick. So Lee's standing over it on the far left side. Oh, nice to see you, Julie. Well, everyone will treat you nice here. We got a good crowd of people. A good chip in. Clearwood tries to get there, unable to. Ball rolls all the way out on the right side, just short of the corner. So Wrexham will throw it in. Got a piece of the Shrewsbury defender. Rathbone with the ball over to Barney, who skies it on his cross. McLean gets a header, but he's getting knocked around, unable to direct it anywhere good. They're all busting back, and they take out the Shrewsbury player. They hit ball first, and now they're trying to give McLean a yellow. Oh, my. It looked like McLean was going to take him out from behind, and I thought Marriott hit the ball first before McLean took him out. I don't know how the ref could make the call. There was so many bodies there. I don't think it could be seen easily. He should have relied on the linesman. Let's see what this is. Yes. So is it Marriott takes the ball out and the guy starts to fall and McLean hits him in the back of the legs at the same time that Marriott takes the ball out. So McLean on a yellow. So we might get to see Revan today. That would be a reason to pull McLean in the second half. Long service in on that kick by Shrewsbury. Nothing there. Gets knocked out. Shrewsbury's back at midfield. Passing it around. Yeah, Macca clipped him in the back. The question is, did he have the ball at that point? And I don't even know if that matters, to your point, John. Like, if Macca runs up the back of the guy's legs. But I thought the yellow in a lot of those scenarios is more about stopping a breakaway. If the guy no longer has the ball, then it's just a foul, isn't it? Like, I guess if it's too physical or too vicious, then they give it, and maybe that's what he thought. I think he was going down thanks to Marriott's tackle anyway. McLean just happened to. Oh, wow. Great cross, great header by Shrewsbury and right into Gonko's hands. He was all over it from the start. Yeah, that was a heck of a cross by them. O'Connor tried to get there, but really good header. It's going to be interesting whether or not it got under the crossbar, if it was going to hit the crossbar, but easy for Okonkwo to catch it. Clearwood just cleared out a guy. Now he's getting talked to. Shrewsbury with the ball just onto their side of midfield. 30-minute mark, just passed, about 30-minute, 10-second mark. Sorry, I don't have the volume going, so I'm not exactly sure what that call was. I think the forward was holding Max a little much. I think they gave a foul. So Wrexham with the ball near midfield. They're bringing it back, swinging it around. O'Connor with the ball, bringing it up, getting a little bit of pressure. He didn't even care. Didn't know the guy was there. Wasn't bothered by him. Ball back to O'Connell. Now Dobson over to Cleworth. Ball all the way back to Okonkwo. Wrexham has about 61% possession here. 2 total shots for us, 1 for Shrewsbury. We had 1 big chance. They have none. Each team has a guy on a yellow. Rathbone with the ball at midfield. Brings it back to O'Connor. Chips it deep to Palmer. Oh, great header by Barnett. He just misread Marriott's run. Marriott was slicing across, and Barnett thought he was going to stay on the far left. So looks like he got a really good piece of the ball. He could have put it wherever he wanted. He just did not know where Marriott was going to make his run there. Ball all the way back to Okonkwo. 65-35, you're saying? Yep, just changed. And Sean does have a link. So you guys, McLean with the ball, great pass to Palmer again, and he just boots it into the back of a player's leg. Come on, just take a half-second pause there and put it in the net. Shrewsbury had a nice counter there. O'Connell's mad at the ref, complained about something. They got a shot which Okonkwo handled fine. Wasn't really much of a shot. Wrexham with the ball, O'Connor midfield. Okay, I'm about ready to bring on the A team. He's a little bit behind me. Oh, great cross again by Barney, and it was a little tight to goal on the near the post on the far left side. It was going to be really hard for McLean to do anything with it. He was a step behind where the pass was. So Shrewsbury's not clearing it out. I'm going to be bringing in Sean here. So you're getting the A team, and we're going to get back on track, and I'll fix the. You're up, Sean.
Well, that certainly was entertaining, and I can shut everything down, and I am now live. Wrexham going left to right on your screen. Shrewsbury from right to left as we get caught up. Brendan, thank you so much for filling in through the mass chaos this stream holds. Dawn, thank you so much for sending your details. Unfortunately, with the VPN, it wouldn't work, so that's great. I found a dodgy link. And I normally don't promote these, but I'm going to today, and somebody can come and talk to me if they want to. Do I post it or do I just tell them about it? You know what? Maybe I don't want to give you the exact stream that I'm using, but I'll post the one that has a bunch of them, and I'm just going to put it in there. If you're looking for something, go there, choose a stream, load it up, and then you can follow along. I don't even care. Somebody can come at me for the copyright stuff, and I'll just say, well, we're paying for a service, and you guys need to figure it out. So figure that out. I follow. And any challenge.
Crunching tackle by Dobson. He's getting flagged here. Oh,
Dobson's got to get a yellow for that. He does. Came into the back of his legs over on the right-hand side, and I've got to get caught up on who the numbers are. Takes out Castledine, the Chelsea man, who's away from the ball, and he had nowhere close to a 50-50 ball on that one. He had maybe a 5% chance of getting it, but he just took out the 19-year-old, and I go buffering, of course. I guess I can turn off my VPN if that's what's slowing me down as well, and we should be good to go, I'm hoping. You may have to still fill in intermittently.
What time do you have, Sean?
I'm at 35-32 as I just get a header up over top of the net, and it's going to be one of those. The joys of having a dodgy link is every time it fades in and fades out, and so Brennan will have to be there to fill in as Ojo is going to take a corner from the right-hand side, the former Port Vale man. I guess he's in on loan. So going to be a right-footed in-swinger over from the left-hand side towards the box, up 1-0. And here it comes. Going to go to the middle of the post and easily headed away by O'Connell. It was dangerous, but a little bit flat and nobody really around in the center of the box, and that's going to get kicked out. And an easy throw in, easy as Max taking his time to go and collect it. And let's hope this holds, because are they showing the goal there from Palmer? Oh, that was the an opportunity that just came moments ago. In on a pass from McLean, got onto his right boot, and away it went. Whew. It's nice to have a link back. Oh, did they retract my own message? They won't even allow me to post a link. Dead ball, easily going to be handled. Okonkwo with the goal kick. And man, what an entertaining day it has been. I'm going to figure all of this out as we kind of go through things live and in charge. And I'm going to grab that link and pin it up at the top. So you guys have that long ball to the middle of the pitch. It's down. Dobson racing up to go. Oh, Rathbone, sorry. He's right side, 18-yard box. Got Barney with him, draws it back to him. Now 20 yards out, going to go back to Max over on the right-hand side. Back and then punched forward by EOC, but a bad pass easily. Oh, that was Dobson with the bad pass. It's a little bit fuzzy, so I'm going on general position more than I am on numbers. And we're able to capture that one back, and it is now TOC over on the left-hand side. Advances forward. Nice pass through the middle of the pitch to Lee, diving, tries to get it to Palmer. Would have been a beautiful pass if he could have made that connect, but it gets intercepted and is just hammered down the pitch by Shrewsbury. Kicked out and a throw-in for Shrewsbury just on their side of the halfway line. I don't know what Brendan, what's your thoughts on the added time? We've only got 136 watching now. That's all fine. Hit the like button if you're still here, and I apologize for the delays in getting everything up and ready, but this is the nightmare that is I follow this year.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be a ton of extra time added here.
Bring up Fatma. This over to the right-hand side. Winchester has it, advances it forward, gets it up to Bloxham, flipped over top. Push. Do they call that? They let it go into the area and loosened. One of those slowly hopping balls in front of goal. I believe that was Castledine who had the last touch on it. Took a sweeping shot. It was more to try and find somebody in the box necessarily than get it through. I thought there could have been a foul outside of the boxes. It was a pretty heavy push. And not having seen what the ref has let go and not let go makes sense. But that was Feeney up there. And so we're going to have Ojo again from the left-hand side with a right-footed in-swinger. Go back to the chat.
I agree with Don. 3 minutes makes sense.
3 minutes makes sense. Far post, long ball. Are they going to head it back into the box? And they can't get to it as it goes over top of the head of Stiala, who's over there. He's collected it and puts it in the box, and Palmer just leaves it and taps it back, and it's going to get thumped down by McLean to the middle of the pitch and sends Benning all the way back to go and collect it. Benning already on a yellow. Hey, Santiago. You've missed out on all the drama. I'm not trying to get iFollow to work, and if anybody does get that working in the background while they're doing it, feel free. I've posted a stream up at the front, and I don't care what sort of befalls me as a consequence of posting the dodgy link when we don't have any options anywhere else. Yeah, John, I wasn't worried about the refunds. You know what I mean? Because it still, to me, goes to the club. But at the same time, what a nightmare process. 2.5 games without audio. The club removed all their volunteers. I was going to say staff, but except for one at the start of the year. Down, you say. Like that? Perfect. And now everybody has a stream for the future. I won't post it again, so make sure you bookmark it if you're going to use it. And the club might give me trouble, but whatever. Palmer with a nice little interception has the battle, and Ciala leaves it there for Barney. Now Barney and Rathbone running down the right-hand side. Well done with all the effort, and he's just running straight into the middle of the box, lays it up, right foot, scores! Elliot Lee, the white Pele on a beautiful feed from Barney, and all the five. Well, Palmer with the amazing effort to end up stealing that ball and finding Barney. Barney just going down the right wing and cuts it in front. And all the criticisms I've given of Barney saying he doesn't attack the middle of the pitch enough. It's always pass, always pass. I'd like to see him take that option. Took that option, lays it off for the white Pele, and we are up 2-0, baby. Let's go. 42 minutes in, and there goes my feed, so I'm not going to get a replay. But that was Palmer busting his butt down that right side and squeezing the ball and being able to flip it over to Barney, who just runs down and hammers it in easy as. We'll take it. Yeah, and then kudos to Rathbone, as I've got it in the ear here from Brendan. Barney, as he's running down the right, gets an overlap from Rathbone, who draws defenders with him. It opened up the middle. So that was on the ball and away from the ball. Just some beautiful work from Palmer, Barnett, Rathbone, and then ultimately the finish from Elliot Lee. Ooh, studs up. What color is this going to be? Oh, that's a push and another push. And now the referee's into it. Rathbone, and who's this? 17. 17 was protesting, and I don't even have who that is. Is that Castledine? Gilead. So Studs up on the challenge, and I would suggest that that's got to be at least a yellow, if not a red to us. And in the intermittent stuff, during the Rathbone goes in to talk to the ref while getting chatted to by Gilead, and Gilead didn't like the fact that Rathbone went in to get some words in, gave him a shot in the chest, and so Rathbone immediately responded with a shot to the chest. And I'd like to see the replay. I didn't actually see, Brendan, maybe you, was that McLean first up? Yeah, the referee's pushing away. I don't think the referee taking this long to be able to give out a red lets me know that. Oh, so it's a yellow to Lee.
Yeah, for complaining though.
For because the challenge did not look good. Here's the replay of it.
It was
push
Lee.
Push in the back.
His boot up. He might have hit him in the
knee. Yeah, that's not as dangerous as when I first saw it. So that's a good call and well done by McLean. Elliott gets a yellow card out of the mess, but that was a push in the back, and then afterwards he gets his foot up and catches him a little bit with it, but it wasn't as direct as I thought it was. And maybe there was, John says Lee was the guilty party, unless that clatter was later on. But anyway, it's a free kick, and Ogonko collects it neatly. Dangerous ball as it skipped about 3 yards in front of him. I don't think it was the high boot. I think it was for the, it was,
no,
I think it was
to the knee.
High boot to the knee, claw. It looked bad from a distance. When you see all the reverse replay, there wasn't much into it. But yes, we are collecting yellows, and maybe Parky moves a little bit further, and we'll see Jones slide in at some point. Although you trust a veteran with like lead to be all right, and we are up 2-0. Is it as O'Connor just knocks it out coming up to the 45-minute mark? It's nice for me just to be able to see what the hell is going on. Right now we've got Dobson on yellow, Lee on yellow, McLean on a yellow, and for them they've got Benning on yellow. So 3-1. It is what it is as we move forward. All the way over to the Magic Man Barnett over on the right-hand side all by himself. Rathbone's getting a little bit closer. He draws two men towards him, and he just bops it off of Ciala's face. Or was that Benning's face? Might have been Benning. And here comes the throw in 3 minutes. Well done on calling the added time. Long throw into the box, collected easily and cleared out by Ojo. Their position's not what FOTMob has up, because either that or Shrewsbury is just playing wherever the hell they want to. Well collected, gets it forward to Rathbone, and he's going to push it through the midfield, and a bad pass over to McLean, draws him back, but we've still got possession over on the other side. The audio is now available on iFollow. Well, that's partially there. Let's see if the video, if you guys get the video up, I'm happy to leave the dodgy stream. I've left the dodgy stream there because I don't care. Enough is enough. Somebody, Don says I should buy a lottery ticket today. Go for it. Do it. 2 minutes of out of time. And I haven't made the push for the ad, and I'll probably do it during the half, but just because so much chaos and all that sort of stuff. Thanks for Ultimate Promotions, ultipromo.com, ultimatepromotions.biz for their ad-free sponsorship. If you need custom pins, custom badges, custom medals, go to them. Have a look, and I'll give you more details at the half as it's over to Benning, who's approaching the midfield stripe. Benning searching the KG veteran, and 50-50 ball. Two players scramble for it. Lloyd hits the ground looking for a call, and Clueworth just stays on his feet and wins it, and easy as. Don says he's going to pick the numbers of every Wrexham player who gets a yellow, play it on the lottery, and see what happens. I'm going to feel like a sucker if I don't do the same thing, and it ends up going. Yeah, for those of us who have annual subscriptions, we should be able to pick it up when it gets picked up. But, ooh, nice little ball in and easily headed away. Had some time, but I appreciate the effort there by O'Connor to just rush back and be safe and hammer that thing out. And so we'll have a corner over from the left-hand side. Weather Guy, it is on CBS Sports Network. If you don't have a pass or are in the U.S., you can't get it. But so far the numbers are 7, 15, and 38. We'll see where we're at the end of the game, maybe adding goal scorers to it as well. Here comes the right-footed in-swinger. It's going to go far post. O'Connell up easy. He has a lot of space. That's the second corner out of 3 that have come in that have been one missed to everybody. But of the 2 that have been towards the danger area, it's been O'Connell both times with lots of space, nobody around, just walking into that space and heading it out. Shrewsbury forward, Max up over top. Nice little easy as clearance from him. And there's the whistle for halftime. It is a beautiful, beautiful day. 2-0 so far. Gorgeous half, despite missing a whole bunch of it. I haven't seen the Palmer goal yet, but the second one I can talk about. I'll let Brandon, when he gets in here, describe the first one in Australia, so can't get the game. It's been fun. It's just nice to hear the roar and to see the fans and to get the game. And, man, I was going through withdrawal, and it was only 30 minutes of my life I lost trying to figure everything out. Brendan, are you with us?
I am, yes.
So why don't you go ahead and describe the half for the most part, and while you do that, I'll load up the FOT mob on my side, and then when you get it, we'll talk about the stats and what we saw, and what did you see for the half?
I saw us doing what we do, at least offensively, not really wasting a lot of time passing around the back. Occasionally we did that, but it looked more or less like we were stalling to get either Palmer or Marriott forward and kind of realign ourselves when a breakout wasn't working. And then we would immediately chip it back in. So O'Connor or Cleworth or whomever is chipping it wide or right into the box. It looks like they're targeting Palmer, who's trying to knock it off to the right or left and then play it from there. And that's somewhat making a difference. It's definitely testing Shrewsbury. That play was the first goal that you missed was Palmer hustling back, I think it was, and clipped from behind, knocked the ball loose, and it eventually gets knocked out to McLean on the far left, who races down. He had plenty of room, and Palmer comes down the middle with a couple other runners. Marriott goes short, and Palmer is wide on the far side, slows down, and McLean had already put it behind the defense that was kind of running as a line, slips behind them, and Palmer has the whole right side, more than half the goal open, and just buries it. Really easy, nice goal, nice finish. I wish he had that kind of composure on the other one where he had the ball and put it off a guy's leg, and we'd be looking at 3-0 right now. But yeah, it was that was good, and you saw the other goal, right? So
yeah, I saw the other one. Palmer, that one that he banged off. I saw the replay of that came on, and it looked to me as though, I mean, he had to make a quick decision, and I don't think he got exactly what he wanted onto it, banging it off of the defender and it going out. The second goal, I mean, one that I don't think the team credit will be there. I think a lot of people look at Barney doing what he did as far as magic on the ball, but there was some impressive play. Palmer with the steal and the control and the ability to get it to Barney, as you identified. Then you have Rathbone, who just goes busting it down the right wing and draws in defenders, with them anticipating the pass, which left the middle of the pitch open for Barney to go running through. And as he's running over, he's drawing in defenders, and it just leaves a big gap right at the edge of the 18-yard box, who gives it to Elliot Lee. And we've seen that numerous times before where he just thumps that one in. As they just showed the Palmer goal, that was a nice feed from McLean right across the face of the goal through in front of a bunch of defenders. And then just, left-footed scoop, easy as. So gorgeous stuff as I'm getting the Golazo stuff through a dodgy stream through this one. The stats, just to look at them, it's what we've expected. Our XG, very low. Our passing, very low compared to what you'd expect over the season. But what is sort of the norm for us is it's our efficiency. The other thing, it does say that they had 2 shots on target. Earlier on, I was just looking at it and it said no shots on target. And I was going to say, wow, that's another half of no shots on target, which I thought that they had at least one that would have been given to them. So that I saw. So in any event, they're ahead on total shots. We're even on shots on target. We've had the only big chance and we converted on it. As far as defensively, how does it look? pretty even on tackles, pretty even on interceptions. We're up on 1 on tackles. They're up on 1 on interceptions. You go through the blocks, the clearances, and the keeper saves, and it's all us. So statistically, again, one of those games where if you're the other side, you end up doing what everybody says. Well, they're not very good. We looked great. They didn't look that good, but we're ahead, and that's what we kind of keep on doing. So it is what it is, and I will take it. The league, Barnsley and Bristol Rovers tied 1-1. Charlton and Rotherham tied 0-0. I think I want a draw in both of those. Like Barnsley, I'd probably take a Bristol win, but the loss of points is the loss of points, and for people dropping it. So the video appears not to be working. If you've purchased, you can get the audio pass on iFollow. If you haven't, I did post the dodgy stream link up there. I don't care. If iFollow can't figure it out, then that's enough for me. And I keep loading up the iFollow to see if it's going to work. At the end of the day, I do recommend to everybody not to use the dodgy stream in the future, to go back to iFollow when they have it fixed up, because us supporting the club is important for what the club does. And so Don Morgan with...
Yeah, the first potential comment of the game, too much possession by Wrexham.
Yeah, we'll need to fix that in the second half. We're going to have to go all the way back to last season. We know that, to end up finding where we've had more ball possession than the other side, right? 54% to 46. So away from the ball, I didn't see the yellow card. I saw the one that went to Lee, but I didn't see the other ones. Do you recall them?
What was that now? The other passes?
The yellow cards, Brendan. Did you
recall the other yellow cards? Oh, I mean, yeah, you saw Dobson fold a guy in half from behind.
Oh, yes, I did see that one. Sorry.
Yeah,
you're right. I saw that one and the yellow one. So I guess it's just...
Yeah, and McLean, I think did you see McLean? Or at least I saw, and John had chimed in, he essentially, when he went to a slide tackle, he hit him. It looked like he hit him directly in the back of the legs. I think what happened is Marriott slid tackle at the same time, got in front of the ball. It kind of held the defender up just a bit. So as McLean was doing it, he went right into the back of the guy and took him out. So although Marriott's was clean and we took the ball from them, McLean ended up coming up the back of the legs on the guy, very much like Dobson did. Yeah. So, I mean, they were both yellows. They were both worthy of being yellows. So I'd expect a bunch of substitutions. Hopefully we get another goal before we have to go down that route. But I think we'll be good. And based on all the injuries that Shrewsbury has, I don't know that they're going to have a lot of quality to bring in the second half. And unlike us, that can bring in a substantial amount of quality in the second half here. So I wouldn't be surprised if we went out and got another 2 goals after the subs come in.
Yeah, O'Reilly and Perry could come in from them. O'Reilly had a goal in the last one. Perry, if I recall correctly, a younger guy, capable of stirring the drink. So those would be the options. And it's fascinating, these dodgy links, because I go to reload and I end up with one that's 5 minutes at the 5-minute mark. So what a fascinating day this has been. If you look at the League Two table, obviously only 3 games going on. And so with Charlton gaining or so far, they've earned 1 point to draw themselves up into 4th on points anyways. If they end up winning that one, they'd end up at 12 points and be sitting in 2nd place. They're currently obviously involved in a draw with Rotherham, who's eked up into 15th so far as it sits with a 1-2-2 record. Shrewsbury sitting, if the game ends there, they will have played an extra game and they will be still sitting in the relegation zone. So not a good place for them to be in. And then the only other one that's going on, Barnsley and Bristol Rovers sitting at 1-1. I love that as a potential outcome. I don't know what Bristol Rovers are. They're sitting at 8th. They're in the playoff hunt. They didn't look good in the game that I watched, but they keep eking out results. But I mean, mind you, it's a 2-0 win over Cambridge. Not that impressive. We watched the Stockport one and they didn't look good at all, losing 2-0. They drew Rotherham 0-0 on the road, so you'll take that. And then they had a 1-0 win at home against Northampton Town. Not that impressive. And then they lost their cup match, and they're behind by one game. Well, they gained 1 point for the penalty kick loss to the Hotspurs U21 team. But I don't know what the Bristol Rovers are. Have you watched any of their stuff? Seen them? Looked? Have an opinion?
I saw the one game, and I wasn't overly impressed. I did hear other people saying that when they watched the games that their team was playing in against Bristol Rovers, they thought Bristol Rovers looked good. And I'd heard some commentary about how many guys they had switched in and how they made some quality pickups and stuff like that. I think Barnsley's good. I think Barnsley stumbled out the block, but I would imagine that they're going to be in the top 5 this year, I think. So
a draw works for me, but I guess what you're maybe suggesting is you'd take a Bristol Rovers win away over Barnsley and strip them of the points, even though it means Bristol will move up on the table.
Yeah, but Bristol may end up 10th, but 9th, 10th, I would guess. But I think Barnsley's going to end up ahead of them. So, yeah, like you said, you almost always want to go for a draw so that they're both dropping points. But if one has to win, make it Bristol Rovers.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Still waiting on the half, and I'm actually enjoying some of the coverage. Just listening in the background to what the CBS is doing, I would suggest.
Oh, I thought you enjoyed my commentary.
I did enjoy your commentary, Brad. and I do have to give you credit. I actually thought that you were calling that the game quite well. Your celebration, I guess mine is predictable as well. But the whole my was one that I was enjoying, and so I have no complaints at all, as it's been a messy, chaotic day. And John just identified that he's listening to the halftime show on YouTube with Wrexham and says that they're aware of the problem and they're hoping to fix it by the second half. I would love for that to happen. Logan, do we think Mullen's going to get a start on Tuesday? Yes, he's getting a start. Mo Fall will run with him. That's my prediction. And you'll see mass changes everywhere. Bolton will come in for Barney. Revan will come in on the left-hand side. Jones, Evans, if he's healthy. I don't know if we've heard one way or the other. I don't know who the other midfielder may be. And then on the back line, you're going to get, certainly Scar and Harry Ashfield. He'll get a game. He'll in the midfield as well, for sure. Harry Ashfield looked really, really, really good during the turn. But I think it'll be. Initially, I thought, okay, it'll be Boyle, Scar, and Brunt. And then I thought, do we think that Aaron James is going to get minutes? And I don't know how that's going to work. So to me, the back line, that's the only question, is where does Aaron James and does he draw in? Shrewsbury in the relegation zone and having played an extra game if this game was to end as it currently sits. And then I think, is it Bolton starts the game following Birmingham? I could see him getting the start in Birmingham if he plays exceptionally well. And he's comfortable after the Salford match. So we'll see what's going on. Tuesday it's a trophy game, right? So the least important of the 3 competitions, only League 1 and League 2 teams are in it. So it'll be three game pool competition to start out with. It's one of those things. If we get to like the past the first or second round of the playoffs, then I'll start to care about it. But for me, with how tight this competition is, being the league, unlike last year where I was more open to long, deep cup runs, this season I don't want them. Except for the FA Cup. The FA Cup, there's enough money in it on every level, and there's enough prestige in it that you always put your best foot forward when it comes to the FA Cup. The trophy, put in the B squad, and if the B squad ends up winning the damn thing, then great. But I'm not really that fussed about how the team goes for it. Yes, the Bristol Street Motors Cup, previously known as the Pizza Cup or the Papa John's Trophy. I'll tell you, if you're CBS and Golazo, you are celebrating all of the I follow failings because the coverage has been good. It's been better than ESPN's. That's my take from the limited time I've seen it. For those of you in the US, I'd love to hear your opinion on it. Brendan, what do you think comparing ESPN to CBS? Have you found a preference?
Well, again, like I have so much going on with all the different audio feeds that I have to worry about what will get picked up by my mic, and I can't always tell what's going out to everyone. So I have a lot of things muted. So unfortunately, I have to watch some of these muted, and I have the television feed for CBS muted. I'm going to switch to the one shot for you.
Okay, we're going to get started right away here. For me, the one thing I also like, I'm probably going to look to set it up here because there's enough other games that you can get on delay and post the match that it gives me an opportunity on the train to watch other teams do their thing. And considering that I'm paying for stuff, if I can figure it out, I'll watch it. John says, and we're underway, so the clock can start running, and I'll get you the time update as we get through this. CBS much better than ESPN in John's opinion, and half the price too. And Don says I prefer it as well, but that's because CBS is broadcasting way more games. Which, yeah, I just was going through that, so it's been both the coverage. As we're going to get a goal kick here, I'm at 45 minutes and 30 seconds coming up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 45, 30, and it's going to get played to O'Connell, and away we go. Underway. He's not wrong. At least I'm assuming. I always get Sandy's Twitter account mixed up with the other Canadian Red Dragon one, and I never know unless I look at the logo as to who's who. So underway, and we've got control coming up to the 46-minute mark now, and it's with Elliot Lee over on the left-hand side, and he's advancing the ball across the midfield stripe on over to a switch to Mr. Cleworth. Lee led the EFL last year on fantasy points, which was rather impressive as Palmer loses control and Shrewsbury has it, and an awkward right-footed clearance that's just going to go miles high, and Lee not able to win it, but it's taken down by, was that Barney? Dobson, Rothwell, who ends up getting McLean, left-footed, looking for somebody in the box, headed on. Ooh, well done by Marriott to be able to get back and get ahead on that thing. It was a weird angle cross over from McLean, and Marriott had to do work to kind of come back away from the ball, and he was able to flick it on, and the only option was to get it on goal, and the save came from it, the keeper able to get his hands up on it. Well done. That's impressive because you're now leaning away from goal, coming from to a ball that is behind you, and you're able to get enough of enough of your head on it to advance it 12 yards forward and put the keeper under pressure. I like it. More of that, please, Mr. Marriott. Throw in. Marriott gets it back, tries to find Rathbone and isn't able to do it. Rathbone and Dobson they look similar in style running around, or at least in stature, that it's the position play that lets me know more than it is the numbers or the hairstyle that identifies who's who. No subs came in on the half for either side, at least according to my FOT mob as I look at it. And so we've got Benning over on the left-hand side, midfield stripe. Shrewsbury gets knocked out, and they'll take a throw in over from the left. Savin sitting with a 4.9. He's in the red on the FOT mob standing. I don't think that any of those goals were his fault necessarily, but maybe a better keeper could have saved it. But he's getting beat up as McLean draws it back to O'Connor, who thumps it down the middle of the pitch, and it gets turned over, and couldn't get advanced forward from Lee to Palmer. And here they come on the other way, blocks him with it, looking for the cross, middle of the area, and it's just Dobson tackles it out, and it's going to go for a corner over on the right-hand side. No nonsense defending. That one, I don't think, even with communication, anybody could have yelled at him with how fast the ball was coming in to tell him to leave it. So he ends up taking the swipe at it, and it goes out. So this time, Benning, this is the first time I've seen him. Ojo had been taking all the stuff over from the left-hand side, so it looks like they're doing in-swingers from either side, which is why Benning goes forward, left-footed. Here it comes, far post, and guess who's there? O'Connell, but Ogonkwo also gets up and slaps at it. So both players, O'Connell and Ogonkwo, assisting on the clearance, and not much there, but Benning gets it, and he's going to slide it back into the box. Gets headed away. and then a high ball thumped in the air, and Palmer running forward. Benning, well done to stand there courageously and head that one away. And the way we've stolen the ball and given it away. Bad pass from Rathbone, just passes it out in front of Barney. The crowd seems a little bit quiet, but yes, just like John said, smash that like button if you can. And I go silent and have to hit the refresh button. 49 minutes and 47 seconds is where I'm at after that refresh. And we've got O'Connor down the left field, or left-hand side, across midfield stripe, dances over one, dances around a second, and not able to get around the third. Turned over and then knocked out, and we're, what? Tackled out, and they're saying in tackling it out, it must have gone off O'Connor. I'm not sure that it had. And that's the message of the day. I hope that iFollow pulls their head out. I haven't checked. If you guys, anybody who does go through and finds that they do load it back up, feel free to let it know. I'm gonna just pull the pinned message there for a little bit. If anybody didn't get it and doesn't have the stream, go ahead and grab that. But we'll figure it out. How frustrating has the day been? Still just messing about with the throw-in. Time being wasted. Are we worried about it at this point in time? Probably not, but it's taken a long time to get the game restarted, and away we go finally. Shrewsbury with possession, and still lots of hustle. Lead, Dobson, and one of those things, like Lead was active, but it's almost like there's another level of sort of tenacity in defense and challenging, and I don't know if that's the Dobson effect, and you add a pit bull, and all of a sudden everybody else around him become pit bulls too, but I would say that, and I'm curious to see what other people say in the chat. Like, do you think that the team has been impacted by Dobson just in the way that they challenge? Because there have been, it seems more tenacious in defense anyways. Maybe that's just in League One, the play gets up. Chesterfield goes up on Grimsby in League Two. Oh, cross into the middle of the area, 18-yard box, knocked down, flipped up in the air. It's going to go out, and I think that's going for a corner because that was a deflection off a Rathbone that goes all the way out, and Benning's going to run over to the right-hand side and throw that in. John's predicting subs. Revin in for Macca, Scar in for TOC, moves up to the infield, and Dobson out. I'm just going for the yellow cards. Dobson's got one, so that's why you're moving him. Macca's out, that's why you're moving him. Mullen in for Marriott. Jones in for Lee. Left footer, and I get all pixelated, and it's going far post, and it bounces off of Marriott's head, and then it bounces off of Ojo's head before it gets cleared out for a Shrewsbury throw. A little bit of ping pong there on that defensive play, but all told, it gets cleared, and so what do we care? 52-minute mark just passed. Shrewsbury with control. Winchester, the captain, draws it in, misplayed and not touched. I think that was intentional to let it go, and so it just ended up going to the defender, and it ends up on McLean's foot. Yikes. And I continue to lose my feed intermittently. The joys of the dodgy stream. 52 minutes, 52 seconds. As we've got Lee standing over the ball in midfield. The crowd is into it now. It's been quiet for a while. Played short, battle, two red jerseys fall to the ground. Shrewsbury ends up nicking it away, and he's playing advantage, so they're just going to keep going with it. And Shrewsbury down the right-hand side. The captain, Winchester, pumps it into the corner. O'Connell on the chase. Well done, sir. Shoulder charge the man off the ball. It lets it roll out, and it's going to go for a goal kick, and Ogonko gives him a fist bump. O'Connell has been everywhere so far. He's had those two impressive headers in the first half. He's got one interception and one block off, which I don't know how they would end up marking that on the statistics, but just a well-defended play positionally to let that one go out. And here we go, 53 minutes, 52 seconds as I bounce around a little bit just to make Brendan work his butt off, staring at the clock and making sure that the time works. 54 minutes and it's up offside, they say, and it was close. It was close. I couldn't tell from where he was when the ball was contacted, but when the camera angle moved, he was certainly ahead of the defender. So we'll assume that the Lionel got that one right, and Shrewsbury starts play. I follow is now working by the looks of it. Well, that would be advantageous. Got a foul just from the outside of the box. Watch live. Oh, you beautiful thing. I follow is now working. There we go. I'm back on I follow, and it's a beautiful thing. So 54 minutes, 39 seconds, and the being able to get a full proper stream with good color. And I don't know what, Brendan, you're in the ears. What did you think? Was that a foul in your eyes?
That was an awful flop. Don't even get me going. Don't taunt me. Don't set me up like that. You know what I have to say. That was
nobody can hear Brendan, but I'm being tripped in my ear for goading him. So whether that was a flop or not, his opinion, needless to say, was that was a flop. And ooh, well saved by Okonkwo. That was what you would kind of consider an Olympico if it was a corner. It just went straight in for goal from right against the line on a left-footed in-swinger. He was probably about 3 yards away from the goal line, and he just went to try and ping out the far corner. And Okonkwo from the middle of the net jumps up with the height and says, no thanks. And there's the flat service by Benning, and it gets cleared away. I'd like to see a little bit more possession and going the other way. We're allowing Shrewsbury to have a little bit more control that I would necessarily like. And here comes O'Connell with another well done, easy as target. And Floyd does the flop. If you've got that emoji still running, you can go with it. As O'Connell, that's tally that up. That's 5 I've only watched the 20 minutes of this match, and that's 5 impressive defensive plays by O'Connell. It's nice to hear Mark and Mia again. Whew. Everything's good. I follow is now where it's at. That was a nice save on the free kick. I follow started in New Zealand. And hi, Angela, or kia ora koe. I got me a large amount of love for Aotearoa as I lived in Taranaki for an entire year and got to surf all through Opanaki back in the day. Brendan, if you missed that, Varia says, can you get us a different flop graphic? It's kind of gross and I'm eating my oats.
I will work on it. I'll start rotating through flop graphics. I was a little busy.
We've got a promise for a rotating set of flop graphics that could end up happening as O'Connor ends up grabbing that one with his head, knocking it down, getting it to Lee. And easy as it looks like we're going to get a play back to Okonkwo, who left foot sweeps it down to the middle of the pitch for Palmer. Palmer gets pushed in the back and the ball comes backwards. No foul. Oh, he does call it a foul. I thought he wasn't going to give it. Pushed right when he made contact, and so as a consequence, the ball goes shooting all the way back to a defender. Life is good. I've got perfect. This might be actually the best stream as far as quality goes that we've had from I Follow all season long. The race course in full voice. Dobson with it. 57 minutes, 45 seconds at the moment, and it just with a whoa! There's a mistake by O'Connell, and the ref just lets him play. Well done to this American referee. And here comes Marriott through the goalkeeper's way out. What's happening? Marriott scores! What a beautiful, gorgeous mess of a goal that was. Woo! Marriott adds another one, 3rd of the season. That ball was looped up in over top of everybody, and Savin comes running out for it, realizes the ball's not going to get to him, and so he's lost in Neverland. Can't go out and get it, can't play it. The defenders go back and try to touch it. Marriott gets it, and he actually makes a deflection off of a Shrewsbury defender as that gets looped up, and I think that Ciala couldn't control it. Savin's in the middle of nowhere, and he gets the grab and slides it into the net, easy as. Ciala with the mistake. Marriott, chest, right-footed. Benning gets a foot on it, but not enough to knock it clear. And Marriott scores 3-0. Love it. Keep that goal difference going. Let's add on. Like, keep foot to the throat. Apply the pressure and score as many as we freaking can here. Jack Marriott. Man, we have a true strike duo between him and Mullen, because I still have full confidence in Mullen being able to add his and cause some chaos. And between the two of them, we got guys who can put the ball in the back of the net. And no caps if you're getting deleted. Kopak and others, you yell all caps and you'll get grabbed by the bot. Don saying exactly kind of what I was thinking. The only bad thing about Moles is Marriott and Ollie are both playing exceptional football, but I think that Palmer's capable. O'Reilly, by the way, the goal scorer from the game against Leyton Orient, or one of them, just slides in on a sub.
I think John's right. We got to get some subs in soon. We don't want anyone out.
Yeah, protect the yellow cards.
Yeah.
Anyone with a yellow has a seat and take a bow. I'm with it. Absolutely, John. Lee with it, has control. Back to O'Connor. Just past the 60-minute mark, into the 61st minute, and it's Dobson with it in the back. Punches it forward the middle of the pitch, and let's kick back heeled by Lee, and McLean's going to run over with an interception. We've got possession, working through the left side. Marriott, 18-yard box, takes a shove in the back and keeps the ball. Draws it back to McLean. Nobody really in the box. So McLean, Lee on a cross. He's got an opportunity. Face of goal. Right footer. I think he should have taken the Barney option, who was wide open over to his right, but he tried to sweep it through, and instead it gets blocked. And here comes Lloyd the other way. Subscriptions are welcome. Join the chat. Hit that like button while you're at it. And again, thank you to Ultimate Promotions, ultimatepromotions.biz, ultipromo.com. If you're looking for pins like this one, if you're looking for medals, if you're looking for badges, they'll give you free artwork, free shipping, set you all up, whether that be for your club, your work, your medals for your tournaments. Check them out as the crowd, the Four Walls crowd, is up on their feet in the cop and going on. Come on, you Reds, indeed. Subs coming. Max holding the ball. Are there subs, or are they just standing there? Ciala has taken a knee, so we're going to have a little bit of time here as we wait. But the energy is there. The crowd is electric. Oh, baby. John, go buy a lottery ticket. Can we do the goal scorers and the yellow cards and so far, and everybody grab a lottery ticket in your jurisdiction? Somebody's got to win one, right? As we've got some time and a water break impromptu as Ciala has a sip. Whew. Right leg. Ian, iFollow is working now. At least it is in Canada. It is in New Zealand. And I've heard somebody in the UK, I believe, say that it was working for them. So feel free to refresh it. I think you would have had to had a full year subscription potentially. I don't know if it's allowing you to buy. I don't know if you'd want to buy at 10 quid for what's left in this one. Maybe you will. That's your call. Hey, Swiss, nice to have you. Stats tell me that Shrewsbury have 7 shots. I think they're lying, but cannot confirm. I've seen 3 shots on my own, I think. 1 on target since I've been on. 32-minute mark signing in. Subs for Shrewsbury, number 11. So that's going to be Sago Jr., who he played some minutes previously, so has some experience there. And he came in, I think, for Bloxham. Or was it Castledine? 18 or 19? Not sure. We'll find out in due course as Savin's fought mob scorer taking a beating after that misplay on the 3rd. So Ciala out, Feeney in. And here they come forward. Shrewsbury over on the left side. I don't think that's a foul. I think that's just a stumble, bumble, and a mistake Well done by the referee just to let him play. 29. Who's number 29? Am I dyslexic and did I misread that number? Or did somebody come out with a different jersey? Max Kluwer throw in. Cleared back and Marriott on the hunt, searching for the ball, but it's not going to get there. And it's just right-footed down, and O'Connor gets it up to Lee, and we're going to gain control. Well done by O'Connor to fend off the man, get it to McLean, who's going to feed it to Palmer. The challenge is on, and it just gets kicked out, and we'll take a throw-in. We'll take a throw-in. That just sounds funny, though. Up the town, and all of a sudden, the Wrexham FC City. Yee, don't think I like it. Yes, there is a monthly option, too. Thank you, John, for reminding me that you could always take the monthly option. With iFollow and its mistakes, I don't know if I'd be willing to do that, too, and that's the problem. The loss of revenue to the clubs because iFollow and EFL just can't seem to deliver the product. O'Connor with it, midfield stripe, 65 minutes coming up in 5 seconds. Crosses the line, looking for an option. He finds Marriott, who draws back to him. He brings it back to Dobson. Midfield stripe. Oh, there was... Rathbone was pushing through the midfield. It came a little late, but he's able to get the ball, get it to Lee. Bounces on a weird deflection. Palmer was looking at McLean. McLean was looking at Palmer. Who's going to take it? Nobody. So it gets cleared down, and Max is over there to rescue it and draw it back to Ogonkwo. Up 3-0, the goal differential looking good. I want more. Load that thing up. Max with it over the right-hand side. Working the ball up. Get those subs in. We're at the 65-minute mark. I agreed with John 5 minutes ago, and now I'm getting miffed at Parky for not... Because the last thing we want is pick up another yellow, and we're going to end up having somebody take a day off. The one thing is we haven't collected a lot of yellow cards so far, knock on wood, that yellow card accumulation is an issue. But long may that continue. Swiss wishing everybody a great weekend. And Dale looking for more goals too. Feeney, that's Josh Feeney, number 6. And I don't know, I didn't read that they were related, Josh and Morgan Feeney. But Josh, I know, hadn't had any minutes until today, so that's the first time he's seen League One competition. As Shrewsbury coming in with an opportunity, eking into the box, 18-yard area, just draws it on back. That's Winchester, gets it across. Gilead has it now. Right foot gets back over to Winchester over on the right-hand side. The captain looks to serve it into the box. High ball, just over top of O'Connell, but it misses the two Shrewsbury players, and Barney's there with a right footer to hammer it down. And I say this about iFollow. The audio's now gone. Like what? And Jason just notes that too. And true to form with iFollow, we've now lost Mark's commentary again. McLean with it, left-hand side. Pickpocketed by Gilead, who's pushing it all by himself. I will say I've noticed Gilead has looked all right out there as far as the players for Shrewsbury. He's been doing all right. And here we go. Palmer with it. He's going to have a crack. Swung out to the right. And Marriott saying, why didn't you get that to McLean? Rotherham goes up 1-0 on Charlton. I think you'd all... Oh, and here we go. We got Mark back in my ear. I follow sound, video, Des. It's all useless. And maybe we'll put that one up as a potential comment of the day from Des. Who made the first one? Too much possession. We need to fix that in the second half. I didn't note who actually said that. Knots 2-0 up on Accrington down in League Two. And who's the commentator on the CBS feed? If somebody knows who's watching in the U.S., who's commentating on that match, feel free to let it know. It's more Winchester and Gilead dealing with it over on the left-hand side. Pushed over to the left. What happened there? Blown down. Got to be a yellow card here, no? Cleats to the shin. No immediate response. Barney It's not the same as I follow. They've got to have their own commentators for CBS. The yellow card is out. It's not going to be a red, and that's to Ojo, and that seems fair to me given the yellow cards that are out there. And Shipley put in his hands on the chest of the official there for a second, even though it wasn't aggressive. No touch, please. That's probably the right call. If he would have got him with the studs as he went through, it would have been a different story, but he got him with the right leg. The tackle was certainly late, and so for me, that's a yellow. Barnsley takes the lead on Bristol. That's a couple of late goals there in the Barnsley-Bristol match, not one that we want. I would rather have Bristol win if they're not going to draw, so we'll hope that Bristol comes back in that one. And here we go, subs coming in. Mullen is up, Jones is up, Fletcher's up. Parky is angry. I follow more like I buffer or I don't work. It should be renamed can't follow. I have issues. I cancel my subscription. Keep them coming. I can't do my job. Yeah, they're all there. Brendan's with the wisdom in the background as McLean ends up not being able to take that one and loses control to Winchester, who turns around and with the pressure just ends up thumping it out. We'll get a throw. And here come the subs. Mullen for Marriott. And standing ovations, and rightfully so. Give a clap, give a bow. I unfollow. I don't follow. I want to come back to this. I'm just going to mark this at the 70th minute and take a screenshot of the chat. I accept responsibility for that comment. I cancel my subscription. I think Deandra might get a nomination for that one. Des with the I follow sounds useless. And then I still forget who put the too much possession. We need to fix that in the second half. Was that Des as well? If it was, I'll keep the first one as Fletcher comes in as well. Mark noting, we refresh a team that looks refreshed. I can't follow anymore. I refuse to follow from Kim. Well done. Rathbone out. All the yellows stayed. We got a second window coming up at the 75th minute. It wasn't. Oh, it was Dawn. So Lee's still on, Dobson's still on, McLean's still on. And we're going to get a right-footed in-swinger from Elliot Lee. I love you, Elliot. I hope you've been practicing your set pieces. Far post, a little bit too close to the keeper, and Savin's able to just jump up and grab that one and go the other way. Fletcher giving him a little gentle bump on the way past, and away we go, bending over on the left-hand side for Shrewsbury. The Tractor Boys? No, that's not what their nickname is. But we can go with it. Lots of blue jerseys sitting down quietly on the opposite end of the camera in the away zone at the racecourse. A frustrating trip. Lee, nice little dance. Pulls it forward. The pass was a little heavy to McLean, but they're going to end up saying, I think that was a foul. It did come a little bit late. And that was Winchester pulling down Lee. Weird camera angles, which I appreciate, picking up stuff that's outside of the stadium that I've never seen before. ra-tls.com. I don't know what that is. But it looked like it was opposite the street on the tech end. I'll have to look that up because I've never seen that on the street before. There's Ogonkwo with it. Savin down to 3.6 on his FOTMOB score. Long ball to Mullen inside the. Could he keep it? He's going to let it go for a corner. And I'm assuming that that's going to be O'Connor that's going to go over and take it as Mullen sets the ball down for him. Woo-wee. How's your Saturday morning, afternoon, evening maybe if you're... I take your money. Ooh, Deandra, which one do I like better? I unfollow or I take your money? I fall. Oops, I fall. Oh, I failed. I'm pretty sure I saw Shrewsbury player playing Candy Crush on the box. Oh, dangerous one put into the box and it goes up for McLean and he's saying too much contact. And that was Clueworth, too much contact. So he's called the foul. Did he have him in the headlock? Here's the replay. Oh, yeah, that's too much contact. That was Feeney. Morgan Feeney. Max just puts his left arm around him and gives him a little cuddle as they jump in the air. And you can't do that. Mendy, it looks like he might be playing Candy Crush on the bench as well. Yeah, John, I'm probably going to look at picking up a credit card from given away by Savin right onto the foot of Mullen, but he's 35, 40 yards out, so he's got to keep it and not take advantage of that. Gets it over to Barney on the right-hand side, 18-yard box, just into it. Tries to flip it, doesn't. Gets it back, long, high ball over to McLean on the opposite side. McLean. Yellow, red, yellow, red. Winchester. I don't have him on a yellow, but he wipes out McLean, and he's going to get a yellow here. So McLean has it, and he comes in and he swipes him out and takes his leg out from underneath him. McLean, though, the legs go out, legs come down, and he's able to stand. No big deal, kind of walks away from it, and McLean's having a... His grin is... I can understand why people who aren't Wrexham fans end up being bothered by James McLean, because his smug little cheeky little grin is is entertaining. Lee is an affectionate guy. No, it wasn't on McLean. He got cleared out. And then Winchester, when he cleared him out, went to the ground as though it was McLean who did it. Lee, flat service, and it's pumped out, and it's going to go for a corner now from Lee. We're okay, Don. We're okay. You can take a deep breath. Don, isn't it? I see it's the other guy. Whew. So I'm probably going to try and get the Visa to get the Paramount Plus subscription going and see if I can. It's a long ball and a little bit too close. That's two in a row from Lee that I've liked the height. It's been dangerous that way, but too close to the keeper and just easy collects from Savin. He does love winding people up. Just the way he turned, that wry little smile that he has is just, I can understand why people go offside. Dobson knocks it back. O'Connell, well defended, over to O'Connor on the left-hand side. It's all good, Kim. He got a yellow. Feeney, he's looked all right considering he hasn't had any minutes for Shrewsbury. Oh, Mullen into the box, into the area, onto Feeney. Mullen again. Oh, right-footed, and it's blocked. Fletcher tries to go up there. Savin punches it away. Jones gets it over to Barney inside the area. He's going to have to settle it down as that was a dangerous little run by both players. Mullen got his chance. I think everybody had a little bit of a panic. Winchester, though, takes his legs out and then lays around on the ground saying, I got hurt from this one. And see, John, that's the perfect thing is I don't mind paying, but I want to get my service perfected. And if I can't, I'm going to look for other opportunities. And that's the thing is how many people have done that in the last 4 or 5 games, and some of them won't come back. They found their streams. Shrewsbury with an opportunity, 25 yards out over to the left-hand side. Benning all the way up, and he's usually on the other side. Maybe it's swapped out but anyway, Benning and Ojo over on the other side, and that's probably a byproduct of Feeney coming into the game. Dance, and beautiful tack by Dobbs, and turns it the other way and just pumps the ball forward up to Mullen and lets him go and take on Josh Feeney over on the left-hand side. To the left, to the right, to the left, to the right. Pushed in the back. Turned around, circle, leaves it out. Elliott Lee! Misses by a foot to the right. Paramount Plus is the way to go if you can, and that's what I'm learning. Can't get my money back from iFollow, but it's probably worth it for me anyways, just to be able to pick up all of the different games that are out there. Because doing the neutral watches that we have, I'm paying 10 quid every time, so I'll make that up if I'm able to get Paramount Plus to work. Definitely staying with Paramount Plus, and that's money away from the club. I mean, not directly, but they'll get some money from the streams. But I believe it's just a blanket pay. They're not paid on subscribers like iFollow is, and so that's lost to the club. Horrible pass. Benning not able to get there. O'Reilly just punted that one straight out entirely across the pitch. Didn't leave enough room for anybody to go and get it. And we're taking our time. 80th minute coming up, and Max still hasn't got to the ball. Oh, the heavy lean down. Not every game, but more than just the one. So I think they had every game up for this one. And we only need the cheap version. You don't have to get the expensive one. Thanks for that, John. A new country? Did we get a new country? Gibraltar? Does that count? It does in FIFA. I'll count it. Do we have? I can't scratch it off, but I'm going to count it anyway. Gibraltar. McLean subbing out. So that's at least one yellow card going off. The armband goes off. I'm assuming it's going to go to Mullen. I too, Aaron, would like to see Mullen pot one. Oh, McLean, as he's walking off the pitch, gives it one of these to the Shrewsbury fans. The away section not smelling good. And Shrewsbury, knock on wood, Revan coming in, by the way, for Mullen, which makes sense. I think everybody assumed that. Mastro, nice to see you checking in. Well done, sir. Oh, and John says every game has been on. John's done with iFollow. And I guess the other offside is our option is if you're not going to spend the money on the stream, you could just means you get more long sleeve jerseys, kit, right? But I mean, I think that the number of people who have said that they're looking for to Paramount as the option, they've lost massive return. Still no Portugal. No, still no Portugal. Ooh, Charlton scores 1-1. Charlton and Rotherham dropping points over there. Costa Rica, Pura Vida. Love me my time in Costa Rica. And have we had a Costa Rica show up on the list? I don't think we have. That's a new country as well. We're tallying them in. Tamarindo, a brilliant, beautiful, amazing, chill place. As Cluworth going to have that one on a free kick, and he's going to leave it for O'Connell. Oh, Tuglandia will add Portugal as well. Offside, 83rd minute. Winding it down. I still want to see one more. Get Mullen the ball. Get him one. Get up 4-0. Headed down, headed out. Kept in. O'Connor's there to collect. So well done by him to stay with it. And on that play back in, and Fletcher holds it up and gets it back to Lee. Lee, I thought that was Jones, but it wasn't. It was Lee in the middle of the pitch, and it's a switch is on, and it's over to Barnett over on the right-hand side. Barney holds it up. He's going to draw it back to Cleworth, and we're happy to kick the ball about, increase our passing efficiency for a period of time. That's a brilliant long cross switch over to Revan on the left-hand side. Draws it back to Lee. 30 yards out, 25 yards out with Mullen. O'Connor comes in to assist. Lee with it. Shrewsbury actually with some good shape, but putting the pressure on, and we're just going to maintain. The Bronx cheers coming out with every pass. It's got to be about 15 or 16, 17, 18. I'm just counting them. 19 all the way back to Ogonkwo. Kim's going to be loving this, the pass efficiency improvements. Ogonkwo, long ball. And it lands to the feet of Lee. Over to Revan. Revan. Oh, beautiful Mullen! Oh, no! God, beautiful service up from Revan. Mullen open, got a little bit too much on it and just put it right into the one spot where Savin was standing. Could have gone to the left, could have gone to the right, and might have found love if he gone far post. But he goes near post, and Savin just able to easy collect that from about, what was that, 10 yards out? Ugh. I was hoping that was our chance. Get him on the scoreboard as Mo Falls sitting there with a smile on his face. Scars laughing away. They're having fun on the bench. The jinx is on from Mark Griffiths, who referenced the words clean sheet. So I know I'll do it too. Shrewsbury has not scored away this season yet. Knock on wood. Am I putting too much in the universe? Am I really foul called? Tackle on EOC, and so he's going to grab it and take his time to go and play it. Dobson with a switch over to the right-hand side. Barney with it. Knocks it back. He's going to go backwards. Go backwards. Just keep possession. Thank you. Cleworth with it. And I say just keep possession. As much as I wanted to go forward, he had like three guys up on him, and it would have had to have been a lift up over top. Right foot over to the left. Fletcher heads it on. Mullen into the box. He's there, up, over, and no, bullshit. No. He missed by a foot and a half just over top of the crossbar. He slams the water bottle he picks up behind the goal in disgust, as that was so Fletcher knocks it down about 30, or knocks it forward from about 30 yards. Mullen gets over and did a right-footed flick, tries to get it up over top, and he misses about 2 feet too high and 1 foot too far to the right. It just goes harmlessly over the goal, because that's two headers from Mullen. Still banging the rest out. Fletcher touch to Mullen, midfield stripe, over to Revan. Drawn back, and it's going to be O'Connor who's going to set it up. Gets it to Dobson. He gets his feet caught up, and we're going to get a free kick the other way. Oh, boy. Mullen's trying to get his first of the season. Just not there, right? Come on, Moles. A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. Shrewsbury fans starting to leave the away area as it's thinning out. Dobson with it. Gets it over to Lee. Lee puts it forward to Revan. Revan draws it back. Intercepted. Up over top. It was close. John says should have made it. I think it probably should have been 4, to be fair. The first one, I was okay with the header landing in the keeper. There's another opportunity. Far post. Revan volley off of Mullen's shoulder, and it goes harmlessly and cleared, but not all the way down. It goes back from Lee to Revan. Revan scoops it in. Feeney heads it away. Lee tries to collect it, and there's a collision. Can't be a card for that. It was a 50-50 ball. Well, it wasn't 50-50, but he had the player step in front of him when they were both going for the ball. It ended up clattering into him. Knocking on the door. We've seen it, right? Right, Don? We've seen it before. Nice. Well done by O'Connor. Just to dance around the attacker, get it to Revan, and it's going to come back from Dobson to O'Connor. Would love to see Mullen with an eye get a goal. Cheltenham goes up 1-0 in League Two, and a bit of a giveaway there. Barney goes back. Whoa! Cleworth just gets clattered into. I can't see what's happening, but the refs and the players are all running over as Lloyd just runs over top. It's going to be a yellow. An EOC tapping the referee, and the referee not liking that. Is EOC going to get one as well? The referee was thinking about it as Lloyd gets a yellow. No, he's going to put the card away. Don't like the contact with the official, even when it's a poke. But that was... So Max had the ball, looked to go get it right-footed, and he just gets smashed into on a shoulder charge. And then grabbed. And well done for Cleworth to show a little bit of composure. Just grabbed him and didn't end up swinging on him. If that would have been ice hockey, there would have been a couple of right hooks to the chin, I'm pretty sure, off of that one. Okonko runs out to fake taking it and then says, no, I won't. Cleworth now over to take it. Long ball down. Fletcher goes up and he wipes out Benning. So we'll take it. 13,341 in attendance. All good, Aaron. Derby a dud. Richard Williams, Wrexham leader. The headline. Well done, Kim. Reven outside the area. Oh, Fletcher! Right into the hands of Savin. Man of the match stuff. 4 minutes of out of time. I didn't see all of it, so I missed the first 32 minutes. Who do we got for man of the match? Oh, they already announced that McLean won it in stadium. Interesting. So sometimes I think that's the sponsor just wanting to meet a certain player. McLean didn't play bad by any stretch of the imagination. Palmer had a goal, had another opportunity earlier. Marriott had his goal. Barney had that brilliant play down the right-hand side that ended up drawing it in, had the assist. Lee with a goal. O'Connell's been solid. There's another nice play from him, just walking in front of the attacker and clearing that one out. Brendan for taking over gets it. So I see Brendan getting two nominees. Barney gets one. Max Cleworth, obviously. Interesting. I'm not saying Max played poorly. I just think EOC outshone him today in the back. So we've got a Lee, we've got a McLean in stadium, and a mention here. We've got Barnett, who had that assist going down the wing. Who else do I see? This one is going to be interesting because even the nominations are all over the board. I only got 4 options. Woo! There's an opportunity there. It goes wide, and Ogonko roly-poly onto the ground. Brandon with another. I'd give it to him if we could. Yeah, George has played well too. Barney, Cleworth, Lee. So Barney and Lee certainly getting most of the nominations. The debate seems to be between McLean, EOC, and Cleworth. Arthur, John says, for another clean sheet, certainly possible. Max, obviously. So I've got between McLean, EOC, and Cleworth for the other 2 nominees. Let's get that one going here pretty quick. Sorry, you're pixelated there, Brendan. Go ahead and say that again. Lee. Yeah, I'm gonna have Barnett for sure. And nobody's saying Marriott either, eh? Lee, EOC, Barney, Dobson. I'm gonna go with Barnett. I'm gonna go with. Do I go Max or McLean? I think I'm going to go with McLean just simply because he was the man of the match in the stadium. So that would be in alphabetical order. Barnett, Lee, Marriott deserves to be in there too. I'm all for you. As we're getting close to the whistle blowing for the end of the game, Revan across the midfield stripe. He's got some space, looking for an opportunity, and it's going to go for a corner. That'll give me time to type this out. Let's go with Barney, Lee, McLean, and O'Connell. Hit the start poll button, and you guys can have your vote. Looking for a short option, gets it to Dobson and Lee, and it's going to be the whistle, and there it is. You can put 3 points up onto the board. Another win at home for Wrexham, taking out the Tractor Boys, the Salops, the Shrews, the Shrewsbury. Woo-wee! 3-0 on another gorgeous, complete team effort. John identifying that right there. We'll talk a little bit about the game. We'll do the man of the match vote. We're also going to do the comment of the match, which I think is Deandra's I follow, and I believe it was Dez who threw out the too much possession. We need to fix that in the second half. If I've got that wrong, correct it. Can also add Kim, Derby, a dud, Richard of the Wrexham leader. Do we have any other comments that we need to make sure we include in there? Just scrolling through. We'll go over the stats. We'll go over the table. We'll chat about Tuesday, Salford coming in. 3-0 win, top of the table, at least for now. And we added 3 goals on there for the goals for as Scar comes on with a big smile on his face with McLean. How about some love for Phil Parky? Hey, you got to throw those out there as well. It was done, okay? In the league, one this type of victory will be rare. Yeah, Deandra, if I could give it to everybody for the I follow stuff, I'm going to have to go back to the 70-minute mark and take a screenshot of that and post it and just be like, what the flying hell was going on? Oh, McLean, they were just showing the highlight of him hitting the top of the bar. Keep those votes going in. Lee actually collecting them up. I thought EOC for sure on this one. I mean, I know in a 3-0 game, you don't often look to the defenders, but he had like 5-6 really impressive defensive plays consecutively that I think was hard to overturn. Brandon, let me know when you're in, and we'll go over the stats in the league table, and you can have your comment on man of the match.
I am. I just put the Fought Mob up.
And O'Connell's only got 4%. Man, nobody listens to me. Who's your take on man of the match and why?
Again, it could have been a bunch of guys. I think Barnett again stirring the drink on the outside, getting a lot of good service in. He was why Lee scored that goal, and the reason why Palmer had such an easy goal was because the pass from McLean was absolutely perfect. On the carpet, not bouncing, nice crisp pass behind the defense, and it was a gimme. So yeah, I mean they really get credit for those goals, and McLean bringing the physicality and playing a good game out there. So man, to answer your question, man of the match, hard. Like if you said Lee, I'd hear you. If you said Barnett, if you said McLean, yeah. Then there were plenty of good. Dobson was great again. Defense was really good. We can talk about it later. I wasn't impressed with Rathbone. Looks really rusty. All his passes, his touch, all that just wasn't very good. His hustle was, but other than that, he wasn't. The other thing that stood out, you got to find a way to get Revan out there. Boy, does he look like class. I mean,
yeah,
you can't take McLean off the pitch, but I don't know.
But you can put McLean in the midfield instead of Jones. Or you can spell Lee and go defensive if you need to.
That's what I mean. If Rathbone isn't going to get sharper than he is right now, slide McLean inside. And we talked about that. Like, midfielders for the other team are going to want helmets and knee pads and elbow pads with McLean and Dobson in there clearing them out. Slide him inside and put Revan on the wing. I mean, that would scare any team. No one wants to go up the middle and deal with Dobson and McLean. And two speedsters with the kind of crossing ability that Revan's now showing. And we know what Barney is. Barney's, top of the league when it comes to that. I mean, that's pretty deadly. And interestingly enough, Marriott's looking now with his confidence more like a closer and a finisher. And Mullen just hasn't figured it out yet. Taken a little while to kind of lock in. So, I still think we got to stick with Marriott in the big games until
I'm with you.
Mullen gets off the schneid there and settles down.
Well, Mullen's going to get a full run on Tuesday, right? And so that's the best opportunity for him to bank some rust off. And why the reason why I like those trophy games is we're going to see Scar and Boyle, and maybe not Boyle. We might see Aaron James and have Brunt over on that left side. But we, at the start of the year in DeAndre's, so a couple of comments. First, Denise saying, Brendan, you did really well while I was doing the tech work, and I absolutely agree with that. Barnett steady on the right-hand side, and I take back what I said about Bolton early on in the year, I don't take it back. I still really like Bolton. I know a lot of people don't, but Barnett's just been too good. But to DeAndre's stuff, you've got to love Marriott's consistency, and the fact that we're saying that at the start of the season, I had to make comment that I still thought that there was something in Marriott, but a lot of people were like, we don't have it. We need Mullen back. How are we going to be able to score? And Marriott's put all of that issue to bed. And so things are good there. Thanks, everybody.
Sorry to cut you off there. When you were talking about Marriott, did you notice how demonstrative he was out there if he wasn't getting service or if the ball wasn't going to the right person? Like, Marriott is now
a vocal quarterback,
not shy out there about letting his feelings be known. He was pretty upset when Palmer blasted that ball, not because it didn't go to him, but that it didn't go out to McLean, who was wide open. Like, he's starting to show that kind of leadership and I want the ball. I know I can do well with it, and trying to coordinate everything. So I think that's just a great sign from a guy that didn't seem himself after he had missed a few last season. Yeah,
I'm gonna bump the. Also, before you leave, make sure if you haven't hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, so that you can follow along with us over the years. We do all of these sorts of things. And thanks, Denise, for the comment. Thank you, Sean and Brendan, and everyone in the Horde. My favorite way to spend a Saturday morning. I'm loving the community. I'm gonna leave the poll up just for another minute or two, and then we've got to do the vote for comment to the match. And I think I'm almost compelled to put that whole I follow slam and figure a way to make a graphic involving that or a video that ends up capturing that properly, because everybody had a rip on I follow and a well-deserved one.
We didn't
let's go through the stats.
Yeah,
let's go through the stats really quickly as 9 o'clock I've got running around to do, so we'll have to wrap this up in the next 30 minutes or so. 56% possession. Hey, that'll bump and move things up, so we can have the ball and still win too. Expected goals. I don't know who mentioned it, but only 0.33 on the XG. That's impressive, and that's a number of games where the expected goals have been below 1. And we've had a clean sheet now for, what is this, 3 consecutive games? Is it 4? I mean, that's impressive. And W&G just identifying 5 games in and not a single defeat. I mean, we're going into Birmingham now for an exceptional challenge next Monday, not this Monday, the following Monday, but going in with some confidence. So that's going to be a fun little match. Accurate passes 345. That's more than typical for our style and how we've been playing in League One and closer to League Two numbers. We're not a team that gets you 400, 500, 600 passes in a game like some clubs do that are heavy, like Notts or Peterborough. who like to pass it amongst their back line over and over and over again. 15 shots to 9, 6 shots on target to 3. We had 3 big chances and we missed one of them. I wonder that's which one they would have counted as the big chance missed. Maybe the Mullen opportunity, the second one, maybe. I don't know. As far as the shots, all us except for they had 4 blocks. We had more total shots, more shots on target, more shots off target. We also hit the woodwork with the McLean opportunity, and then 10 shots from inside the box. Yeah, the only non-clean sheet was the first one. That's what I'm thinking. So I think it's 5 or 4 games. Yeah, 4 games with it's nuts. We're steady defensively in that back line. I don't know how you do, and Kim with the prediction that Wrexham will do very well this year if they remain undefeated. I think yes, that's likely to be the case. DeAndre agrees. Going back to the stats, interceptions they were ahead, clearances they were ahead, and that's just you'd expect that when we've got more pressure, but we did have more blocks. And then the passing, the accuracy maybe not as high as you would like it. 76%, but not, I mean, that's typical when you're pushing the ball forward and you've only had 345 passes, because we search for the ball. We try to force things through and try to make that nice play rather than just the safe one. So the FOTMob stats show certainly statistically and our efficiency, we deserve that one. So we'll take it. I'm going to, you want to see the pajamas come back, the suit come back. All right, I might be able to do that for one. Find where, pull those ones out and wear those for a match. Maybe the Tuesday game.
Yeah, Tuesday. Why don't we do that, Sean? That'll be the outfit.
Yeah, I'll make sure I have it available, and we'll pull that one out. Okay, I'm going to wrap this one up as far as the poll goes and bring up the comments. While we're doing that, why don't you do a run through the table there? Or I can bring that up too. We still got one game underway. It looks like the Charlton game. The Barnsley one has finished. So they're now up with their win, move up to 10 points with their win 2-1 over the Bristol Rovers. So Bristol ends up not moving anywhere really. They just still sitting in 9th place after that one. But now everyone around them has a game in hand. So you'd expect them to be more towards the middle of the table. And then the other one, Rotherham and Charlton, 6 minutes of added time, still into it, sitting there 1-1. Go pajamas. So iFollow will be a source. I don't know if it's on Paramount Plus. Brendan, do you know?
I would expect it is. I mean, all of them have been. The other game was for the Carabao Cup. So
I would expect
check it now.
Yeah, go ahead and check that. I'm going to bring up the poll for the comment of the match. Comment of the match, and I'm going to go with too much possession. We need to fix, and I can't put the whole thing because I've only got so many characters. I'm going to go with Deandra's I unfollow. I'm going to go with the whole complete. Thanks, Georgillian, for the late sub. I appreciate that. Keep those subs rolling in, by the way. Massively appreciate them. Gives you an opportunity to find out all the other stuff that we're doing. Also, just going to call it the chat wide I follow slam, and I'll find a way if that is the winner to capture that for the comments, either as a scrolling video or something else. And then just 1 second. Did you see the Charlton game ended?
Yeah.
Perfect. And so as a draw, I'm assuming. And then the last one I'm going to do is Kim's Derby a dud. Richard Williams, Wrexham leader. So I'll start that one up. You guys can vote on that one. Kim's got, that'd be 3 nominations or 4. I think every game we've done, Kim's been nominated for comment of the match and hasn't won yet. We'll see if she's able to take that one in this one, but feel free to add your vote to the comment of the match.
So Tuesday's not Carabao Cup, right?
No, Tuesday's not Carabao. That's EFL, and we're out of that one. It's Tuesday's EFL Trophy, which is called the Bristol Motor Street Trophy.
Yeah, it might. So it's not going to be under the Carabao Cup set of matches. I wonder if it's going to be under just straight EFL.
It could be. So we'll figure that one out. It's going to be on iFollow anyway. If you're not in the US, if you are in the US, we'll have to figure that out. I'm assuming it would be iFollow, if not on CBS Golazo. But I'd be surprised if they're not going to cover it. They've got the setup already there, easy enough for them to pick up the stream, and away they go. So the table as it sits. Do you have that one up on screen, Brendan?
Yes, I do.
Perfect. So the best news. Have a look at the top. Tippy top of the league, goal differential sitting at 9, with a game played extra over Stockport. Just for we've got Birmingham next weekend. They're going to be playing on the Saturday against Crawley. So Crawley, I'm shocked by Crawley. I know that they're only sitting 12th, but the fact that they have 2 wins and 2 losses, I didn't expect that. They cleared out, as far as I'm concerned, their best players, and they brought in guys that sort of like Shrewsbury, journeyman players who have been in the division for a long period of time, and just hope that the seasoning the old stew would bring them results. And for them, it has. Unlike Shrewsbury, they've been, I guess they've lost 2 in a row. And so glass half full or glass half empty, but still not sure what Crawley is and who Crawley is, but that'll be, man, Stockport's had an easy run. I don't want to insult other teams, but you look at their run. They opened up the season with Cambridge United. They then had Blackpool, who's been struggling somewhat. Where is Blackpool in the standings right now as it sits? 22nd. They beat them 3-0. Then they beat Bristol Rovers, who at home, which we don't know what we have from Bristol yet. They've been in some, and they've also had a bit of an easy run. They drew Mansfield away, that being Mansfield sitting mid-table. Mansfield, though, has their number at homes. I think Stockport hasn't won there since 1983. And now they've got Crawley Town before, and then they get Leyton Orient the week after that, and then it starts to get hard for them. They'll at least pick up Barnsley, but they've got their nasty run, as I've identified last week. In late October, they've got Reading at home, Bolton at home. Then they've got us on the 16th, and then they have Burton, and then that's interrupted with Birmingham that follows, and Peterborough that follows 2 weeks after that. So their November, December gets heavy. Huddersfield and Rotherham to follow, then Birmingham January 1st. They've got their blast right at the tail end. Jason Smith identifying, and that's the best news. And the most frustrating part for me with iFollow is that they didn't have the full match replays previously, and now that they're there. So Live Soccer TV just shows Sky Sports for the Tuesday game, and they don't list it, so that's nerve-wracking, and maybe evidence that those that are in the U.S., you might have to pick up the iFollow single game if you want to watch on Tuesday. You can't get Sky Sports Plus in the U.S. unless you've got a VPN and some way to get around it.
I love these clean sheets, though.
Absolutely. Stockport season doesn't start until November, and that's true. I don't want to insult, but Leyton Orient, they've looked horrible. Crawley Town is a weaker side, and who's playing somewhat above their weight class. Mansfield, they're where I expected them to be, and they're still capable, and they held them. Bristol, I'm confused about. Blackpool struggling near the bottom of the table. Cambridge United near the bottom of the table. In fact, you look at it, Blackpool, Cambridge, 22nd, 23rd. Mansfield, 14th. They haven't played a team. Their toughest competition looks like it was Bristol Rovers at 9. Is that accurate? Yeah. Whereas for us, we've had, well, I guess maybe that's about the same for us. Reading's at 8. We haven't played Lincoln City or Charlton or anyone. So, but we haven't played the bottom tables except for the Shrewsbury match. So keep the votes going. I unfollow being the number one vote so far.
Yeah, this early in the season, everyone we beat has a chance of being mid-table or further down, right? Mm-hmm. Like just giving someone a loss puts them quite a ways back. So to think that we didn't beat good teams because they're further down the table is probably not accurate. I think
I'll accept that.
Show Reading's good, Peterborough's good.
Peterborough's solid. Yeah,
get good, even though they haven't been as good as the others at this point. So.
Yep. Yeah, I'm with you. Bolton, I mean, is anyone going to say, even though they're sitting 18th in the league, that they're not a solid football club? I think is mistaken. Whether they find
I've heard
it
a
too.
lot of complaints about Bolton and them thinking they made a mistake with the McAtee signing. Not that he's a bad player, but that who he's paired with, they're two of the same. You know, they're not adding enough of a difference there. Like we have a big and a small kind of setup. They're the same type of player, and that's not benefiting them. Is what I've heard.
Yeah, and maybe I mean, it's difficult to say whether we dodged a bullet, but I'm interested to see what Mofall brings, and it's hard to say because McAtee obviously would have played in that role different than what Mullen and Marriott do. Whether he would have been an improvement on Palmer, but Palmer, I'll be honest with you. You want to talk about surprises for me for Wrexham players? The biggest surprise for me this season is Ollie Palmer. Outside of the start of the season, maybe 2 years ago, I thought that he'd been declining rather substantially to the point that that's why middle of last season, you remember he missed a bunch of games while he was healthy just because based on performance. He's been really, really good this year.
His hustle and his overall pace, he seems to be moving at a higher rate. I'm wondering if Parky basically said, look, you're pretty much never going to go the full game. So I need to see you running all the time. Don't expect to come out, at 70, 75, something, whatever, and pace yourself for that because he's running a lot harder. I think that was my biggest issue is that he wasn't pressing. We only had like either Marriott or just just Mullen pressing last year. And now this year he's up on the ball more. He's making more runs. He's working a lot harder, and it's paying off.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. At the end of the day, you can go right down through the lineup, and everybody, when they've come in, has looked at worst good.
Well,
like even
Rathbone?
Rathbone today, I'm with you that he doesn't look like he's justified as being a record signing transfer, but I don't think he was bad. I don't think he was even mediocre. I think he was good. He just hasn't got anywhere close to great or what we expect to be a record signing. That would my take. Sid says I would pull Palmer at halftime. He did look washed last season. He looks like a different beast this year, at least for me. And Kim saying a lot of these good teams have young, skilled players who don't know how to win yet. And there's something to be said, Kim, as much as we looked at the difficulty of the 6 matches at the start of the year, there's something to be said about taking on Peterborough and Bolton and potentially even Birmingham before they've had an opportunity to gel. I think facing them in November, December when they've had a run might make things a little bit harder. But he's on the Gwyneth Paltrow cleanse routine. And go ahead.
Oh, sorry to cut you again, but one of the things that I think we're off to a good start. And you typically you don't want to get too excited about the good start, and you're like, oh, we're going to have dips where we're not going to play as well, or we're not going to. When last year, the times when we should have beat people and didn't, it felt like the team didn't have energy. It wasn't just balls weren't going in or everyone was a little off. They just didn't seem to have that effort, right? And it was pretty much McLean always bringing it, and then Lee tailed off with his energy. So did Palmer. And there wasn't enough else going on, enough energy going on out there to have us play great every game. Now we're so much deeper. Dobson's also going ham the whole time, right? Mm-hmm. And when the guy next to you's busting his ass, and if he's running past you to go get the ball, you can't, you're going to be on the bench. We have too many good subs to bring in. You'll lose your spot. You have to bring it every single time, right? And that could help us significantly in the fact that we don't lose to really bad teams. You're going to lose eventually, right? But it's not going to be because of down energy, down effort, not getting up for the game. There's just too many quality players, too many players that want to bust it every time they're out there. And Parky's basically going to go, no, you're not bringing it. You're out. Like, you notice who he took out. He didn't take out McLean, the first sub in the midfield when Jones came in. He didn't take out Dobson. Both of those guys had yellows, right? You should be thinking, okay, we got to get one of those two out of there so that we don't lose them for Birmingham. No, what does he do? He takes out Rathbone, who I thought was playing like garbage. Not effort-wise, but just skill-wise. So that, I think that really says a lot. Like, he's saying, look, I trust you guys. You're responsible for not taking yourself out of the game. And if you're not doing well, I'm yanking you. I mean, that's the message it sent to me. I don't know if that's what he was trying to do, but I thought that's a positive.
Yeah. As far as Rathbone and his play, defensively, I think you to me, he was maybe even better than good. I wouldn't say great. It wasn't certainly Dobson level great, but he was solid. Was it his passing, or did you have other complaints other than just his passing being off?
His first touch, his gatherings of the ball, he didn't seem confident with it. When I saw him get it, he wasn't turning to look upfield. He was looking sideways or back the majority of the time. It just seems that, like, when you watch Dobson, who's obviously a master at it, he's just almost aware of where everyone is at all times. So he almost always seems to make the right play because he knows, if I get the ball right this second, here's where I'm going. So there's no stop and then think about it kind of thing. And that's Rathbone was his head's kind of spinning around going, where am I going to go now kind of thing. And then when he did pass, it was too hard, too far behind. It wasn't great. And the time it took to make the decision seemed a little too long. Like, it looks like the game's moving too fast for him right now. Yeah. And like, when you've been out of it for a while in a lot of sports that are played at a high level, you need to feel comfortable out there and confident, and then the game slows down and you're able to make timely, quick decisions. And he looks like everything's just going right by him right now.
Yeah, no, I'm certainly, and Woody agrees with you too. I'm not going to say that your position's completely without support. I'm confident that he's going to that he's shown me enough that I do think that Rust will get banged out and he'll be all right in a bit. I do want to just also make a mention. I just kind of went through some of the statistics on Twitter. We have 223 of you that are listening over on Twitter. Come on over to YouTube. The chat's a little bit easier to take part in. You can hit the subscribe button and follow along. You'll get notice easier as far as what's going on. It's just a little bit, as far as being a part of the community, you'll see all of those chats there. Instead of just hearing our droning tones, you'll see the chat and get to know the community and the people.
We have a great chat room, by the way. A lot of great stuff that we unfortunately miss. A lot of great banter, a lot of great jokes. Kim and Don and everybody, like, there's a lot of quality stuff happening there. You might come for the chat room instead of Sean and myself.
I would totally say that's probably what people should be taking this in for, is more of the chat room in the community than us. So feel free to slide over, and also if you're on Twitch, there's not too many view there, but as far as Twitter goes, I'm surprised and impressed is that we've got as many people that are taking us in there and just listening to our drone on as we take this one in. Man, at the start of this whole thing, and I think you'll recall, I said I'm hoping that we can take 8 points. Did you have a position the first 6 matches of the season, what you thought would be a good number of points?
Yeah, again, I think I was saying that while you were trying to get yourself straightened out. I was saying I wanted 8 wins, well, 7, at least 6 wins to get to the playoffs in the first 12. So that would be 3 in the first 6. And then ideally, like 7. I didn't think anything as grandiose as 8 wins in the first 12. But with this, we have 4 wins and 1 draw. If we have, let's just mark the Birmingham game as a loss, worst case scenario, right? You're looking at the next 4 games as very winnable, right? So out of that group, Leyton Orient might actually be better than what their record says, so maybe that's a tricky one.
Mm-hmm.
The others, though, if we just give the same effort as we did today, which wasn't fantastic, by the way, like skill-wise, and there were, again, way too many misses by like Mullen, and Palmer should have had a real easy one too. Like, if we just play okay with the energy, we should beat 3 of those 4 teams, I would think. And that gets you 7 of 9 thereabouts, right? And that already is, for a
well ahead of the average to 88
standing-ish area, right? And then knowing that you still had like 3 games more to pick up points, I mean, that's fantastic, way ahead of where we do, which is nice because then it gives you a cushion if like you hit one of those down patches, because you can't really expect to keep this kind of torrid pace, right? So as much as we can get out ahead of it, that's why these clean sheets with this goal difference is great. That's where we were suffering last year, right? As we climbed back into it, we were suffering from such colossal defeats early in the season, 5 goals, all of that when we were evenly matched with the team record-wise, the goal difference wasn't close, at least with the teams that we needed to compete with, Mansfields and Stockports. So to see us out ahead in goals difference and doing so well so early, another great sign.
Yeah, for sure. Just for Deandra as asking that we're going to be here for the game on Tuesday. Yes, 100% we'll be here for the game on Tuesday. Probably only maybe 15 minutes before kickoff because it's also a work day. So I start early and then I take a longer lunch and then I get back at it. So it might be only 15 minutes. I'll talk to Brendan, see if he wants to come on and do a little bit of added time by himself. We'll figure that out as we go through. But yes,
and we'll have our Mullen outfits on.
And yeah, I wanted to go through that just before we leave as to who we think we're going to see. But the other things, I do actually have to come up with that video. I made the graphics for that. I haven't, just to summarize how did we get to 88 points being the standard and 70, the mean to the number of points that we get. PBG Profit on Twitter often does a nice little chart that says where teams sit based on what they need to be able to get to automatic promotion or into the playoffs or stuff based on the norms. And so I kind of want to give the background to that. I also got asked, obviously the 22-man squad list came out yesterday, and we've got 2 openings because 40 was 1. I was asked by Matt of the Racecourse Ramble, who was nice enough to join us at outset again. If you haven't been over to the Racecourse Ramble, go and check him out. He does
thanks, Matt, for that feed earlier too.
Yeah, and that's the feed was awesome just to be able to take it in, as much as the audio is difficult. And I'm wondering if I send him these, although they didn't really work for me that well. I've got the lapel pin, and it might muffle a bunch of the sound out. We'll see. I might send it to him and see how it works to operate. But in any event, appreciative of him showing up. What was I talking about before we went through all that sort of stuff? So he asked me to look into the rules regarding adding 40, which I'm 99% certain that we're able to do that at any point from the window now through to January, basically at our discretion, or sign 2 free agents. I've looked for young free agents to see if there's any that are out there that I'm interested in. I keep coming to the same name, and I don't know. I think if we were to add a free agent, what position would you say we need one in, Brendan? I'll cheat and I'll give you my position in advances. We don't have really a Lee backup, and so to me, if we could find a 24 and under attacking midfielder who could fill in that Lee role, similar to what Davis was supposed to be, that would be who I would think. Do you have somebody?
Yeah, I guess I'm not happy with Jones coming in. I think it's a step down when Jones comes in. Whereas, the only other position that I really think that there's a significant step, I don't think there's a significant step down Barney to Bolton. I think you lose crossing ability, but you kept the speed and hustle. Obviously, Seb, no step down, maybe slightly in defense, but skills and speed is through the roof. Even at keeper, I think we're solid. Obviously, we're loaded up front with a similar level of striker talent. So yeah, I mean, that spot for Lee, I think when you have to bring Jones in, like that's not to the level that we wanted at upper.
Yeah,
upper
yeah.
I don't think that's him. So if you could bring in another, upper League One. I know people could probably say the defense, right? Like I know people could probably pick on Boyle, but I think he'll stand up fine. As long as they don't leave him exposed against like O'Connor is so good and was able to basically handle what's his name last week on the wing, one-on-one multiple times.
Poku.
Yeah, from Peterborough there. I don't know how well Boyle will stand up against a really fast player if it's one-on-one. And Brunt looked really poor in the preseason. We were watching him. It was more spacing and not knowing where to be, and late challenges leaving everything open behind him. So it seemed not so much physical or skill-wise, it just seemed mental. So it seemed very correctable. I think Brunt would be good if he got in the game. And Scar looked a little off, but I'm sure that was just first time in the game. So, yeah, I think it was good everywhere else, though.
So I do have a name. I'm debating whether I put together a video of who the free agents that are out there and where they may sit in. There's very few that wouldn't fail the Plonker test. Like there's a couple of young guys who were released, one for sniffing nitrous gas out of a balloon in the car, who was part of a premier, was Man U's academy. In any event, there's been some people who've been injured all through their youth that, Parky doesn't like his people who don't play injured and can't toughen up a little bit. And there's been some slag that's gone out to some former players, deserved or not, for maybe not playing through injuries or being tough enough to continue going. That's not his words. I'm paraphrasing, and maybe being a little bit more aggressive than the political or the proper way that he delivered that message. But I do look at the one player I keep going to is Amadou Diallo, who played for Newcastle, and I had one game in the Prem, played with as part of their academy. He's a winger, but he also plays as an attacking mid. I don't know if a step down from Prem down to League One is something that he'd be interested in, but he's a young kid, 21, I believe. And so I thought if you've got spaces and opening, he doesn't even count on the 22-man roster. Bring him in, and you've also got that Josh Adam kid who's been around, who knows if he's going to end up signing or not as we go through. Do we want to talk about who we think we're going to get there for Salford? Like to me, it's got to be Mullen and Fall, don't you think, to start up front?
I mean, I'd like to give everyone a break. I think it's important to get to keep some of those guys engaged, right? Like you can't pass up an opportunity. It seems like you can see them all dressed in at the game in the stands, right? And Matt was saying, like, on the away end, they had Mendy and Brunt and all the guys there. I think you want to keep them, up and ready. And to do that, you need to get them in the game. And I think they're more than capable of holding up against Salford. Obviously, when you make that many changes, there may be communication breakdowns and stuff like that, but you got to get Scar out there. You got to get. I think you should get Brunt out there. I think you should get Boyle out there. Why not put Mendy out there? The question is, like, if you're going to put Revan out there and Bolton, then what do you do with Mendy if you're going to try to run him out there? It'd be nice if Evans was capable of getting a little run. I think Rathbone needs the work, so leave him out there. Although he's going to be running again at Birmingham, so I don't know. I wouldn't be
almost
surprised.
get 6 days off though, because it's a Tuesday game, right? So there's an opportunity to allow Mullen and Rathbone, I think, if you want to have extra minutes to get the rust out. That's the opportunity.
Got to see Fall. Yeah.
Got to see Fall. I think the biggest questions for me. So I have Mullen and Fall up front. I have Bolton on the right side. The left side, Revan, Mendy, how do you split those minutes up? But I think you give McLean the time off, obviously, and Mendy needs to have a run. But Revan's been a little bit light on the minutes as well recently, so maybe he comes in with 30 minutes of time at the end. The other big question I have, it's got to be Burton in the back line. As far as in net, as far as our back line is concerned, Scar and Brunt are in for sure. The question for me is it Boyle or is it Aaron James?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how important it is. I understand you got to bring him along, but he seems to get plenty of time in the second team games, right? I don't know how much you need to get him in. Maybe he's on the bench and you bring him in late for Boyle, right? Like in the second half. I just think it wouldn't be bad to have Boyle get some time because I'm wondering, like, let's just say something. I'm going to knock on some wood. If O'Connor gets dinged up, right? What's the move then? Is it Scar there? Is it Scar the middle, O'Connell to that side? What do you do out there? Like, I know Brunt sometimes you can play on both sides, I think, right? Like, he seems like he'd be more fleet of foot than any of your other options. So maybe that's the thought there. I don't know, but until then, your only left-footed option is Boyle, right? And you probably want to bring him in and get his legs stretched.
Yeah, I'm with you. We've blasted through the time here, and I've lost track of how fast it's gone. So I'm probably only going to be about a minute or two. So if you've got last minute posts for polling, feel free to go and throw those out there. I do. Jack of all trades, he bought the bucket hat and says that the embroidery works well. I've put this on the Yupong one. I've got it. The reason why I haven't promoted the shop and I put the link there is I'm in contact with them because I've had 3 people order mugs, and one of them it came to them broken. So I'm trying to get that figured out. I want to figure the returns out before people start spending money, and I don't want it to end up being a problem. So I'm dealing with that issue. And also one of the hats turned out absolutely perfectly, and the other one ended up with a little bit of red in the Wrexham underneath. So I'm trying to figure that out before I end up really pushing it out there. But as far as the t-shirts are concerned, I haven't heard any complaints. One said that the logo on the sleeve was a little bit faded on theirs, but other than that, everybody seems to be happy with that. The bucket hat Jack of all trades is stoked by that one. So I want to perfect a couple of things before I really say, okay, I with confidence can say go out and get there. But for those of you that are interested in sort of the beta alpha testing of the merchandise, feel free to have a crack at it and grab some stuff off there. And he said the hat was perfectly packed. Good. That's good stuff. I'm happy to hear that, and that is brilliant. And so now I can leave that one up in full confidence. But it's just sort of going through and figuring out what works and what doesn't, but feel free to go and have a look at it and do what you wish to do. And I'm hoping maybe by Tuesday, I'll be able to sit down and adjust things and figure out the problem with that sort of stuff. We're here on Tuesday. I've got a couple of added videos to do that I'd like to be able to do. I got the last one, for whatever reason, my quality went a little weird, which was the first time that happened. So I'm going to have a look at that. Other than that, the end of the day, it's a good one. We're still undefeated 5 days in, and ooh, a mouse pad. There's a lot of weird stuff that if you're interested in, if you have a product that you're like, you know what I really want is a floor mat. I can do it. The sizing should be on the products themselves. I haven't ordered a jacket. I've ordered a hoodie. So I can't help you with the jacket. The hoodie fit exactly as I expected it to fit. Maybe a little bit larger, but because it's cotton, I enjoyed it because that means it'll shrink it up a little bit. So I was good with the stitching and the embroidery on it. And yes. Oh, Jason, are you doing the Vancouver Terry Fox run? I've got to do that too. I haven't been training. It's going to be a run and walk, a jog and struggle. And I didn't put the Terry Fox link out there as well if people wanted to donate to that. So my Terry Fox, do I have my link for it? I'll have to find that. But get in your votes finally for that one. I'll be here for Tuesday. I'll make sure I have the Terry Fox. There it is. run details that are there. So if you wish to donate to that, you can also donate there, and I'll have to remember to flag that. And a massive thank you again to Ultimate Promotions, ultipromo.com, ultimatepromotions.biz. If you're looking for the pins, if you're looking for the medals, if you're looking for soft enamel, hard enamel, the medals are the big colorful ones that you want to have them all put in there. And so Jason's doing the 3. Yeah, I probably should have done that myself. The joys of quitting smoking is now I feel invincible until I get out there and I start running, and then I realize I really suck at this. So it's going to be
start coughing up a lung or two.
You know what? If you don't see me for the match against Birmingham on Monday, it's because I had a really bad incident while I was running.
Oh yeah. Do we want to do a game on Saturday too?
Yeah, let's do a game on Saturday. I think we can do that on the 14th. So we'll figure all that out. Much love to you guys. It looks like Deandra's taking the comment of the match, so I'll end the poll there. I just curious how the rest of the polls how the rest of the voting went on that one. So I kind of want to end it and have a look. End the poll. The chat wide I follow slam was right up there with the I unfollow. I'm going to put that one together too. I'll do it as a video and a tweet, and just end up mocking I follow. And God, they got to fix their crap up because it's impacting the club too. Anyways, I get all my Wrexham news from Liam. Liam does a wonderful job. There's there's a lot of good channels out there. The podcasts that are out there, whether that be Rob Ryan Red, whether that be Fearless in Devotion, whether that be Eat More Chips. If you like the happiness in your life, and maybe I need to put a video of who and what everybody is. Me, the wife, and Wrexham. If you need to pick me up, that's usually after a loss who I go to because they end up being so positive.
2 beards if you like something a little edgy.
Two beards if you are comfortable with your R-rated content. They've got a hilarious look down in Australia. And then you've got outside of the podcast, you've obviously got Liam Roberts. You've got I don't like the ones that I don't promote are the ones that are AI generated. I just think that people should be putting in the time, the connection, the love, the experience. So I don't know, but I should put together a video that says whether you're looking for and how to get connected to things, whether that be welcome to Wrexham. Or not welcome to Wrexham. Teach me how to Wrexham. There's a lot of different providers out there. Local pundit that if you enjoy, he's got an interesting community. They have videos almost daily. So if you're just looking to have sort of the chat community and sort of learn as you go, they've got a brilliant little community that does their stuff as well.
We could bring it up as a graphic and also dump it in the chat sometimes too.
Yeah, and Racecourse Ramble. I can't forget Matt. He's got every Wednesday. He's got his live podcast that he goes out and does it all live. And he's now got people from other clubs joining him. He's got other people helping him out with content as far as discussing things. So he's made lots of improvements.
Josh, local pundit.
Yeah. I chatted about Josh and the local pundit. So maybe I'll put that together. And that's not just social media content creators. It's how to get into iFollow, subject to their failings and sports like live soccer, and just put together a video with a whole bunch of little chapters that people can go and say, that's who I haven't heard and taken up.
Get to know Wrexham, and then you can put all the content.
Yeah, let's do that. Anyway, much love to everybody that's here and stuck through this the whole time. I'm going to wrap things up and sign off. We will be here Tuesday. We'll be here for the Birmingham game. I don't think I'm going to do a Who Are You for Tuesday. We know Salford. We can replay the other one. The trophy matches and the cup matches, it's just too hard to do with everything that's going on. Cross your fingers for me. The other thing I didn't mention, we had an offer counter offer thing situation going on the property. So I'm hoping that is all taken care of and we can celebrate that at the end of the day. We'll see how that goes. But other than that, life is good. Today was wonderful. We're top of the table. Doesn't get much better than that. Thanks everybody for being here. Sean Driver, the Red Horde with Brendan, and much love to you, Brendan, and appreciation for stepping in yet again and doing the production and the color. You had the whole thing for a while. So greatly appreciated. Thanks everybody. We'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.
Arthur Okonkwo in goal. What is love? Arthur Okonkwo